home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM HD. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City! A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime! Kansas City wins the game!
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful Thursday as we get you ready for one of the biggest games of the regular season in the National Football League between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. We have a very busy show planned. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll be joined by Steve Tasker. He is a Buffalo Bills Hall of Famer. He is a regular yearly guest on the show. Joshua Briscoe is going to join us in studio coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. Binkley is going to join us in studio as well. We're going to talk a lot of football today. We're not really going to deviate from the formula a lot. We're going to talk a lot of Chiefs, a lot of Bills, a lot of NFL, and getting you ready for Sunday's matchup. Now, we are going to take a couple of slight detours. Not long ones, but a couple of slight detours. Yesterday, Steven Spector, who felt very influenced by our hot take food topics. You remember yesterday, Rob said that Chips Ahoy's are trash, disgusting cookies and should never be eaten. Steven Spector heard this and said, I have an opinion that I want to throw into the ring. We'll play that for you coming up at some point in the show. He has told me what it is. I don't believe that Rob has heard this. It's one of the worst opinions I've ever heard when it comes to food, but I'm not going to spoil too much of it. We'll play it at some point later on in the show today. So, busy show planned. We got Steve Tasker coming up. That's our first trip to Buffalo, New York. We'll also take one tomorrow. We also got Binkley joining us in studio, Joshua Briscoe joining us in studio, and just typical Drive shenanigans along the way. Before we get to any of that, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I mean, it'd be cool if you could tell two people to check out the show, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. If you could just tell one person on this beautiful fall Thursday to listen to the show, man, I would really appreciate that. And number three, and most important, I need you guys to remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. So if you're looking for somewhere to watch, maybe the last baseball game of the season tomorrow night, maybe you're looking for a place to watch Thursday night football today, maybe you're looking for a place to watch a little bit of NBA, a little MLS, a little whatever you're looking to watch, be sure to go stop by and see our friends over at The Other Place. They got great food specials, great drink specials. And you can just sit back, relax, have a beer, and watch the game with our friends over at The Other Place. So let's start really our full speed look ahead to Chiefs and Bills, looking at it through this perspective. I don't know if Chiefs fans really realize how well they have it in this regard. Patrick Mahomes has never really had to answer the question, can he win the big one? That is kind of a staple in sports, and so many great athletes have to answer that question. Michael Jordan, his airness, some stealth, he had to answer that question early on in his career. You bump your head a couple of times against the Pistons. You get eliminated early from the Boston Celtics. The conversation about Mike early on in his career is, well, he's a great scorer, but can he be a champion? We can go up and down the list. Kobe Bryant had to answer this question. Could he win without Shaquille O'Neal? Most of the great all-time players at some point had to answer well, can you be the man? Can you be the superstar? Can you be the guy that gets the big hit, hits the big shot, puts the drive together with 2 minutes to go win a championship? Patrick Mahomes in his first year goes to the AFC Championship game, second year wins the Super Bowl, and he has just avoided all of those questions. You know who gets asked those questions all the time? The quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. I would say at this point, that is the only place that he's at. I call it the LeBron level. LeBron is at the stage in his career where there are only a few things that matter. Did you win MVP? Did your team make it to the championship game? Did your team win the championship game? If LeBron goes out there and scores 55 points tonight, I mean, that's cool, but what does it matter? It's a regular season game in October. You get the point that I'm making. Josh Allen is at the point where if he goes out there and throws for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, it will be great. It will be cool. Maybe it puts you in first place of the MVP conversation. But there is still a massive box that is left unchecked in his career and a major question. Can you do it in December? Can you do it in January? Can you do it in February? Can you be the reason why your team gets over the hump and goes to and wins a championship? And if you look at the history of the National Football League, man, the clock is kind of ticking. Josh Allen is 29 years old. He will be 30 years old at the beginning of the next season. So you ain't really a young pup anymore. And if you survey right now the landscape in the AFC, you've got some younger quarterbacks that are coming in behind you. Justin Herbert is 26 years old. Bo Nix, Drake May in his own division. So we are starting to see the guys who were the young guys 5-6 years ago, the Patrick Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, the Burrow, the Josh Allen, those guys are now 30, married with kids, family. Life is progressing. You're not the young up-and-coming quarterback anymore. You've been in the league for 7, 8, 9 seasons, and now you've had enough playoff success, enough playoff highs, enough playoff lows that now it's time for, hey, where's your championship at? Patrick Mahomes, he has his championship. And then he got another one. And then he got another one. He has 3 of these things. He's been to 5 of them. This is not a conversation for the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a conversation for the quarterback of the Bills. And it feels like in some ways the clock is starting to tick, and the meter has certainly been running for some time of when Josh Allen is going to go to his own Super Bowl and when is he going to win his own Super Bowl. And if you look at the NFL, and the great quarterbacks that we would say are in this same conversation, man, they usually have a championship by now. Now, not everybody, and we'll get to those quarterbacks, but for the most part, if you're that guy, you're an MVP level quarterback, we think you're a top 3 quarterback in the league, it's undeniable. If you're at that stage that I believe that Josh Allen is and has been for quite some time, you normally have at least one by now. I mean, Drew Brees has his by now. Aaron Rodgers has his by now. Brett Favre has his at this stage in his career. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, if you're one of these kind of QBs, you normally have your Super Bowl by the time you turn 30 years old. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. Peyton Manning, it took him 9 years to win a championship. It took John Elway 13 years to win a championship. It took Matthew Stafford. I wouldn't put him in the same conversation, but you follow. It took Matthew Stafford 12 years, and he had to change teams eventually to win a Super Bowl. So that's kind of where we are in this thing. I think these two teams, once again, are fairly even. Now, I like Kansas City more. I think offensively, they've shown more over the course of the first 8 weeks of the season. Defensively, I think they're better. I think the Chiefs are a better team right now than the Buffalo Bills. But we've seen that be the case, whether it be on Kansas City's side, whether it be on Buffalo's side, and these always end up being coin flip games. In a big picture sense, doesn't really matter who wins this game. Now, it means something in the regular season. Who can win their division? Who can potentially be the 1 seed? How do you align yourself up for the postseason? But I think we all know that this is not the only time that these two teams are going to see each other. That has not been how the AFC has been of recent note. These two teams are going to see each other again down the road. And ultimately, it's going to come down to 1 or 2 plays and which quarterback can be the difference maker in those games. Mahomes has been that difference maker, not just against Buffalo. He's been that against the Ravens. He's been that against the Eagles. He's been that against you name the team that they've gone up against in a big game since. Patrick Mahomes has been in the center of why their team wins. That has not been the case for Josh Allen. And in a lot of ways, it feels like it's time. It's time for Josh Allen to take that next step in his career and be that guy. I know Mahomes can be that. I got track record. They record these games. I've seen it. The last 2 seasons, Buffalo's year has ended with the ball and a chance to go down the field and put points on the board, and they failed in both of those times. So we can hear, oh, it was the defense. Oh, it was no. In the last 2 playoff games, Buffalo has had the ball with less than 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, needing a touchdown drive to potentially put the Chiefs away. One of those times they didn't get to midfield. The other time they settled for a 47-yard field goal. Tyler Bass missed the field goal, and that was the end of their season. So it doesn't matter to me what is accomplished on Sunday. Josh Allen might go out there and play exceptionally well, and that's awesome. That's great. But what are you going to do in week 19 of the NFL season? I don't really care about how you perform in week 9 of it. There's one question left for Josh Allen to answer. There's one box left that needs to be checked. Can you win the big game? Can you help your team get to a Super Bowl? Can you win the Super Bowl? And that has been the only thing that he has yet to do so far in his very, very promising career. Coming up on the other side, I want to play for you guys what Jim Nantz had to say. He talked about this rivalry. We'll play that for you next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
The NBA is back. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you miss tip-off or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything. From who's going to score next to a fourth-quarter comeback. You can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout, however you want to play. Now is the perfect time to join. FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 wager wins. So all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to sign up today. Fall is here, so celebrate the return of basketball season with our friends over at FanDuel. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued. Non-withdrawal bonus bet expires 7 days on street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support, community leadership, and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, we're a bank that does good. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth, since 1868. Member FDIC.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
We know there's a lot that can go on during one night of baseball. Long home runs, epic pitching performances, catches that defy space, time, and gravity.
Climbing the wall. Did he catch it? He did!
But what if you could get all of that summarized in a quick, concise, and at least we think, funny podcast that's under 10 minutes? Check out MLB.com's morning lineup. It runs Monday through Friday mornings on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you love listening most.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Coming up in about 10 minutes or so, we will catch up with Steve Tasker. Steve Tasker is in the Bills Hall of Fame. He is one of the best special teams players in the history of the National Football League. He is on the radio broadcast. He is also the host of One Bills Live, a perfect place to start our conversations as we get you ready for Chiefs and Bills. So I want to play this audio for you. This is courtesy of my dear friend Adam Shine on Sirius XM. He had Jim Nance on his show. Rob, Jim Nance too busy to come on our show, but he could go on with Adam Shine on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. What's going on? Now, I thought you had a little bit more pull than this in the radio streets. What's going on?
I mean, I was told by Jim Nance people, Jim Nance didn't do much media this week ahead of Chiefs
I saw him
and Bills.
doing a lot of media this week. He was doing all the media, just not our media.
He was a lot of places for not doing media. I seem to see him a lot this week.
That's crazy. I bet you he got time to go to 1587 Prime, but he ain't got time to come on 96.5. Come on now, that ain't even right. Jim Nance, we consider you friend of the show. So here's Jim Nance. He was on Sirius XM Channel 82, and here he is talking about the rivalry between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
They need one another. If you look at great rivalries in sport, you know, Magic needed Bird. Jack and Arnie needed one another. You know, Brady needed Manning and Peyton needed Tom. It goes with the territory. They bring out the best in one another. And you said something at the start of that question about, you know, people sometimes lament, poor Josh, he can't get it done in the postseason. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's played brilliantly in those games. Those have been really epic matchups. The one back in the 22 divisional round, which was the 42-36 overtime game, probably the best game I've ever seen. And, you know, last year was a nail biter. And again, it came down, high scoring affair. It came down to a field goal margin in a win for Kansas City. But I just think the two are going to be linked well beyond their playing years. It will, you know, always will be part of the story and part of the legacy for each one of them will be the fact that they tangled against the other.
So that is Jim Nance, and that is his stance on the rivalry. I want to play for you guys what Nick Wright had to say, and we'll react on the other side of what Nick had to say. You guys might be surprised. Nick didn't really agree.
First of all, Patrick doesn't need Josh. What are the greatest moments of Patrick's career? One of them involves Josh, but there's the 13 seconds game. But then there's also the walk-off touchdown in the Super Bowl against San Francisco, the 10-point comeback with 6 minutes left in the other Super Bowl against San Francisco, the final drive against Philly, the AFC Championship game against the Bengals. So the down 24-0 in the playoffs in the first half against Houston. What are Josh's greatest moments? It's so frustrating to me that people keep trying to act like this is not Tiger versus the field, that it's Bird versus Magic, when it's not that.
I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle of what both people are saying. I don't think this is Bird and Magic, and I do think that in NFL media circles, we have tried for a very long time to place somebody in the same hemisphere as Patrick Mahomes. You remember early on in his career, I mean, we were just trying to find anybody. We did this with Baker Mayfield, where we kept telling the exact same story about that one game they played in college. Like, man, I'm tired of hearing this college story between Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield. We did the same thing with Deshaun Watson. We did the same thing with Josh Allen. Like, we tried for so long to find who that number one counterpart was going to be, where I do think in some ways, like, it's kind of stayed on Josh Allen and it's kind of landed that way. We did the same thing with Burrow in a couple AFC championship games. So in that way, I do think that we in the media were trying to find the very easy storyline, because it's easy to sell that. Tyson against Holyfield, Ali against Frazier. Like, that's a very easy, here's one side, here's the other side. They're great. They're going to continue to go at it, and you figure out who you think is going to win. So I understand Nick's point there about Mahomes and how he has separated himself in a way in which he does not really have a modern day equal. But where I think Nance is right is I think the NFL needs this story. I don't think it's necessarily about the two individual quarterbacks and them needing each other. Every great story needs characters. We argue this with college basketball. College basketball, at least in a regular season product, has become less interesting because you don't know the characters anymore, and it's hard to follow the storylines. It was easy to follow the storylines when your favorite school recruited a freshman and he stayed for 2-3 seasons, and you got to see the ups and the downs of he's a freshman, he gets on the floor, he has a big moment, now he's getting more playing time, and now as a junior or senior, he's an All-American player that's ready to help your team get to the Final Four. That's an easy storyline to follow. Well, as you've lost that, our interest has changed. Well, in the NFL, the biggest storyline in the entire National Football League is this. You have a all-time generational quarterback that wins at everything. On the field, he has very few blemishes. He has 3 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl appearances. During the commercial break, he is on every single commercial. He has a spotless image. He is the gold standard of your league. He is the face of your league. He is the spokesman for your league. And you have another player who desperately wants to be at that spot and keeps coming up short. I mean, they make movies about these kind of storylines. You have the big bad villain that keeps the other person away from success, and the storyline is, will that person ever be able to be champion? Will that person ever be able to say that they won, that they're the last person standing? That's what I think the storyline is, and that's what I think is very intriguing because it's very, very easy to follow. That's what makes these so interesting. So yes, in the regular season, it's different. It's just, hey, I know that I'm going to watch a good game. But just think about the storylines the last couple of times that these two teams have gone up against each other in the postseason. I mean, after the 13-second game, that's been the storyline. Josh Allen played as well as you could possibly play in a postseason sense. But Mahomes was just a little bit better. Think about that. If you're Josh Allen, the image of him taking his team down the field, they score a touchdown, he is hugging his teammates on the sideline. He believes that he is going to the AFC Championship game, and in my opinion, the Bills probably go to the Super Bowl that year. You think you have finally done it. You have accomplished your goal. No, you didn't. On the other side, Mahomes puts together one of the great drives in league history. They win the coin toss. They go down the field. They win the game. And now you're stuck. Well, next season, how do we advance the storyline? They play each other again. Great, back and forth. To me, that's what I think the league needs. So I don't think individually either side maybe needs each other. But I think the story is the same way that it was with Brady and Manning. One person had all the postseason success, and it was the constant wondering and question if that other player will ever be able to break through and win a championship. That's the storyline right now in the National Football League. Can anybody catch up to Patrick Mahomes and the race that he is currently running?
I understand the point Nick is trying to make, that it's Tiger versus the field. And I don't think that's the world's worst comparison. But why I tend to agree with Jim Nance on this is that I think more than just the Super Bowls and all the things, Manning versus Brady brought the best out of both of those players. We watched that game because it was Peyton Manning has to find a way to overcome Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady has to find a way at the end of his career to overcome the Broncos and that Tony Dungy defense. both of them were great players that rose to the occasion in that huge game. That is what happens with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. You mentioned the moments. Think how many moments Josh Allen has almost had in the playoffs that have been taken from him by Patrick Mahomes, but they're both playing at such a high level. You don't get that when it's Mahomes 1 year against Burrow, 1 year against Lamar, 1 year against Allen, 1 year against, Herbert, 1 year against it. You don't get that same, hey, two great players take the field, they both rise to the occasion. I get what Jim Nantz is saying. I don't think they need each other. I think the league needs both of them, and the league is benefiting from both of them because they are both playing at their best. And when they play each other, they both find an absolutely different level. Mahomes in the postseason and Allen just in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now the most interesting storylines in the NFL, as a big picture sense, not an individual Week 9 sense, but in a big picture sense, can Josh Allen break through? Can Lamar Jackson get his team back to the postseason? Can they break through? In the NFC, can the Lions get to their first Super Bowl? Baker Mayfield, can he win MVP and get the Buccaneers to be the #1 overall seed? But the most intriguing storyline is these two teams have been at least regular season equals. When they've played each other, they've been equals. Man, in the postseason, one team just continues to get the better of the other team. And it's the eventually. Eventually, will Buffalo be in a position where they have a chance to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs? And can they actually do it? And can they actually win that game? That's the question that just continues to hang around the AFC. It's the question that continues to hang around the entire National Football League. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Steve Tasker of One Bills Live. He's one of the best players in Buffalo Bills history. He is in their Hall of Fame. He is one of the best players, special teams players in the history of the league. Steve, always happy to have you come on the show. This feels like a yearly occurrence that we have you guys on and that the Chiefs play the Bills. Let's start with this. Buffalo is 5-2. Tell us how we got here with the Bills this season.
Really good defense. Got a turnover defense that is playing well enough. Their run game has been a real huge surprise this year. That's been great. And, the games that they lost, one game they lost for the New England Patriots, they got into penalty trouble and they had trouble with turnovers. They were -2 on the turnover chart. And they lost a nail biter. So that's really where they're at. They're a really tough team to beat when they play their game. They're doing a nice job this year of finding different ways to win other than leaning on Josh Allen. And then they've been able to do it to the tune of 5-2.
I feel like I don't know if there's something that kind of sums up the NFL more than Buffalo goes on the road and they lose 24-14 to Atlanta. They have a bye week. They come back on the road in the same division, on the road against Carolina, a team that has been pretty competitive at home. The Panthers have been, and then they just put it on the Carolina Panthers and beat them 40-9. That feels like that sums up the NFL in 2025.
Yeah, and Carolina Panthers were on a 3-game heater. They had a 3-game winning streak. They were a 4-3 team coming in at the halfway point. They've got to start feeling good about themselves, and the Bills absolutely curb stomped them. James Cook ran for 216 yards on only 19 carries. They really did go in there with an attitude, and they put it on them. The defense played very well. They got a nice boost from Michael Hoyt, who came off the suspension list, Larry Ogunjobi, who came off the suspension list, their first-round draft pick, Maxwell Harrison, got his first action of the year after recovering from a minor knee injury that he suffered in training camp. So they felt really good about their defensive effort as well. It was a good game in Carolina, and they got a little bit of a buzz from the new guys in the roster.
You mentioned the run game. Let's talk about the run game. We know a lot about Josh Allen and his ability, especially in short yardage situations. The Chiefs saw that last year on 4th down on a play that iced the game for the Buffalo Bills. But James Cook right now, he is second in the NFL in rushing. There was some dispute about his contract heading into the season. The Bills paid him, and they certainly look smart with how he's played so far this season.
Yeah, he has been a huge part of the success that they've had. Their willingness to hand it off to him, their ability, and certainly in some games when they're up double digits, they're going to hand it off more anyway. So he's gotten more looks at it. And I think his production has allowed the Bills not to lean on Josh. It's been one more reason they haven't had to lean on Josh. Both he and Josh Allen didn't even play the fourth quarter against Carolina. And it's a good lesson for the NFL, people who watch the NFL. the Bills had this toss play against Carolina, and Carolina could not adjust to it, and the Bills just ran it into the ground. They had like 10 times in the first half, and Carolina had no answers. At one point, James Cook had 8 rushes for 80 yards in that game. So the Bills, if they can find different ways to beat you, they will. And we have really yet to see the passing game of the Bills, with the exception of opening night of the season on Sunday Night Football when they came from 15 points down in the second half of the fourth quarter against Baltimore. You really haven't had to lean on Josh Allen in the passing game at all. And people are starting to worry that it might not be there when they want it. We'll see probably for sure this week against Kansas City, because you have to be firing on all cylinders to beat the Chiefs.
Right now, we're talking to the Bills Hall of Famer, Steve Tasker. You can also catch him on One Bills Live, getting you ready for one of the biggest games of the NFL regular season between the Chiefs and the Bills. These two teams are linked in a lot of different ways. One way they're linked is at wide receiver. The Bills traded the pick that the Chiefs used to go get Xavier Worthy. They go pick up Keon Coleman. The Bills do. I want to get your thoughts on the Bills wide receiver room, because the wide receiver room for Kansas City is really starting to take shape. They got back Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, as I just mentioned, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton, Hollywood Brown. There's a full complement of weapons right now for Patrick Mahomes, and that's how the offense has really turned the corner over the last month or so. Where is Buffalo offensively in the passing game right now with their MVP quarterback and his weapons?
Yeah, I think when they came into this season, they really felt good about their wide receiver room, because it was such a talent upgrade over a year ago, where they made it to the conference championship. And, they did trade for Amari Cooper mid-season last year, but they felt with the guys they got in with Josh Palmer and Elijah Moore, they felt like they upgraded the people behind Khalil Shakir and the tight end Dalton Kincaid. Keon Coleman, with a year under his belt, they felt like they would take a step forward. Because of injuries and Kincaid being in and out of the lineup, Joshua Palmer being in and out of the lineup, Elijah Moore being in and out of the lineup, they really never hit their stride. And Keon Coleman has yet to be really productive in a game. That's been a little bit of a disappointment, has Keon Coleman. But I think they still feel good about the room if they're healthy. Now, we have yet to see that, and perhaps it'll be a little healthier this week, although Joshua Palmer's still not practicing. Yeah, they're going to have their work cut out for them this week in particular, because you're going to have to score in the mid to high 30s to beat the Chiefs. And right now, the Bills, while they're scoring in the high 20s and low 30s almost every week, it hasn't looked easy, or as easy as it has in the past. I think they feel good about their guys in the wide receiver room if they're healthy. But as of this point in the NFL season, they have not been.
Let's move over to the defensive side. I know that Ed Oliver is dealing with an injury, so he's not going to be there. That feels very critical in a matchup where you're going to have to win with your front four. You have to get pressure against Kansas City. How do you think the Bills' defense lines up with Kansas City's offense right now that is as hot as they've been in 3-4 seasons?
Yeah, I don't know if any defense in the league lines up with Kansas City's offense right now. You kind of got to hope, make them go the long way, the 12 and 15 play drives, which they do really well. I mean, they're as good as anybody doing that as well, but it gives you more chances to either get a tip pass on a third down or, that kind of thing, have them make a mistake on the way to the end zone. So that's really the way that you've got to play this team, I think, the Kansas City Chiefs defensively. They got a little boost from Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi, as I mentioned. Maxwell Harrison will probably get a few more snaps this week. They're trying to get a little bit more athletic in the back end of their defense. Cole Bishop is now on the starting lineup. They put Maxwell Harrison in a corner, and they've got Christian Benford. So they feel a little better about their athleticism out there. But, the Chiefs go so deep at wide receiver, it's really hard for any defense to match up, let alone the Bills. So we'll see if Michael Hoyt, Ogunjobi, Greg Rousseau, A.J. Epinesa can get some pressure on Mahomes, keep him in the pocket. But, you just try and get what you can get. And I think the key to playing the Chiefs, and I think for this Bills team in the past, the key has been making plays. It hasn't been like stopping their run completely or getting them off the field on third down. It's about finding an opportunity, tipping a pass for an interception, getting a turnover. And that's been the way to get on top of the Chiefs. If you don't make a play or multiple plays against the Chiefs, they're just too good to beat. So that's really the key for Buffalo. If you get a guy like Matt Milano out there who has some instincts like that, Christian Benford, those kind of guys, Terrell Bernard, you get some guys with some instincts who can make some plays, then you've got a chance against them. But I think that's the key for the Bills defensively. It has been in the past in their victories.
We talk a lot about this game and keys to the game and who's going to step up and who's going to make this play. It seems like these games have really been defined by moments. You think to a couple of years ago, Travis Kelce makes the lateral to Kadarius Toney, but he's lined up off sides. Josh Allen last year on the fourth down in the regular season game, the failed tush push in the AFC Championship game. These two teams are about as close as I think two teams can be, and usually it comes down to who can capitalize on that moment, who can make the big play, and that ultimately decides who wins these matchups.
Absolutely. We were talking in our office about the series. They played 9 times, and they're 5-4. I think the Chiefs are 5, and the Bills have won 4, or whatever. And this is a matchup that has been going on for 5 or 6 years, and the Chiefs have scored 243 points in the matchup, and the Bills have scored 242. That's how close this has been. So that's why everybody's looking forward to this game. You kind of hope that it's that the Bills can hold in. The Chiefs are playing so well right now. It's hard to. And there's a reason why they're favored on the road in Buffalo. It's even though Buffalo's a tough place to play, they are playing so well. And Buffalo's got some question marks not only with their roster but also with their production and who's going to carry the load offensively. So and their defense has not played. Like a top-notch defense. So it's one of those games where it looks like this may be a time when the Chiefs can come in and have their way with Buffalo. But even so, it's going to be one of those games you got to watch.
Steve, last couple of questions here. First one is, how are you feeling about the division? The Bills, very similar to Kansas City, have dominated their division for the last handful of years, but it seems like Kansas City has real threats, Denver, Los Angeles. It feels like Buffalo has a very similar threat in their division as well with New England beating them earlier this year.
Yeah, New England's playing extremely well. Drake May's playing great football. The Bills were -2 in the turnover margin the first time they played, and they had 11 penalties, I believe, as well. Just did not play well against the Patriots, and they got them on the last walk-off field goal. That's how you win in a division game, right? So the Bills know they're chasing the Patriots. They feel like they can beat anybody when they play their game, but they didn't. So it's going to be a race down to the wire. Those two teams meet late in the season. I believe it's in week number 15 they meet, and so the division's going to be up in the air until then, because it doesn't look like New England's going anywhere. They've got a 4th place schedule because of their record last year, and so they're not going to hit too many bumps in the road on their way down the stretch until they meet Buffalo in week 15.
Steve, I'll get you out of here with this. I always joke that nostalgia is the strongest drug known to man. How have these trips down memory lane been with this being the final year in the Bills Stadium? You have a lot of positive memories there. I'm sure the fans have a lot of positive memories there. There's a lot of hope and buzz around this season, and hopefully able to send that stadium off with the proper send-off. What has it been like the last year in Orchard Park?
Well, it's been a lot of fun, a lot of nostalgia, people reminiscing about all the great moments that have happened in that stadium. It's been around for most of everybody here's lifetime, and it's a second home for a lot of people. The atmosphere around the stadium has grown almost to an almost institutional stage here, where it's almost a cottage industry game days around the Buffalo Bills. It's a wonderful atmosphere. It's an absolutely great environment, and there's been so many generations of Bills fans who have spent a lot of time in this stadium that. There is a lot of nostalgia, a lot of emotion that goes into these games, and a lot of people from around the country and literally around the world who want to come back and see one last game in this building. So it's a lot of fun to be a part of it and watch it take place.
And that is Steve Tasker joining us on the show. He is one of the best players in Buffalo Bills history. He is in their Hall of Fame. You can also catch him on One Bills Live, getting you ready for what I believe is the best rivalry right now in American sports between the Chiefs and the Bills. Steve, I'm looking forward to a great one. I know you are as well. I can already imagine how the atmosphere is going to be on Sunday for that matchup. Appreciate your time today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. It's going to be great on Sunday.
Absolutely. That is Steve Tasker joining us on the show. He is on the color commentary for the Buffalo Bills. Always happy to have him join us. Tomorrow, we are going to be joined by Jeremy White of WGR out in Buffalo. I was on his show this morning. He comes on our show tomorrow. And really excited to get you ready for Chiefs and Bills. We'll get back to football coming up at the top of the hour. Yesterday, boss man Steven Spector felt very inspired by Rob's terrible food take as Rob disrespected Chips Ahoy. So Spector says that he has his own bad food take that he would like to share with us. We'll play it for you next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel, because FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot means that you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each and every week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores either the first or the last touchdown in the game, then you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to take a shot at the jackpot. Remember my promo code KFNZ for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt in. Must apply profit boost hosting on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help us your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Things are getting spooky in South Kansas City, but the deals at Rob Side Ford, they're scary good. Rob Side is with me. Hey, Rob, what's haunting the lot this month?
No tricks, just treats. From Broncos to Explorers to F-150s and commercial vehicles, we've got the inventory, the selection, and the lowest prices in Kansas City.
And no creepy sales tactics, just non-commissioned staff and real value.
Exactly. And while we're on the scary stuff, Kevin, your brisket from last weekend still haunts me.
Okay, dry rub shouldn't actually mean dry.
But here's the real flavor. KC's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in KC by Kansas City Magazine.
If you want simple, upfront, and easy, Rob Side Ford is the treat you've been looking for. Visit 135th and State Line and buy right with Rob Site.
Rob Site Ford, ROBSIGHT.com. And Kevin, leave the cooking to us this Halloween.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Ready, set, Ford. That's what Shawnee Mission Ford is all about, bringing meaning to Ready, Set, Ford. Hey, it's Gold. You know I've been driving a new vehicle thanks to my friends over at Shawnee Mission Ford for over a month now, and they offer their customers the largest discounts on every new vehicle, along with aggressive rebates and top trade-in value. And maybe you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle. You're in luck as well with over 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose from at prices and terms well within any budget. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more.
This afternoon, morning fog, then sunny. High of 55.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
I really love that this show has become a place for people to share thoughts that go beyond sports. I understand that we're a sports show, but I, like many of you, also have other interests. I like listening to music. I like watching movies. Yesterday, I watched The Long Walk. Incredible. 2 thumbs up. Really, really enjoyed it. Would encourage you to check it out. But as I told you guys yesterday, before Rob gave us his terrible Chips Ahoy are trash opinion, everybody eats. When you're watching these football games, I imagine you're having a snack. So sometimes, just sometimes, we can stop talking about how the Chiefs stopped James Cook, and we can talk about what you like to eat. Now, I don't think I have any bad food opinions. In fact, I think I might be Kansas City's #1 food critic. Like, I'm online and I see all these different influencers, and hey, shout out to them. I think I'm the #1 Kansas City food influencer. I tell you guys, Dippin' Dots are incredible. Dippin' Dots flying off the shelves. They can't keep them stocked. I tell you guys, baked beans are trash. I mean, barbecue restaurants are calling me up saying how I'm slowing down business, how nobody wants to eat baked beans anymore. That's the kind of influence that this show has on the community. Now, I want to play for you guys. This is the last Spec Says of the week. We gave you a Spec Says earlier where he had a baseball opinion that Rob and I did not agree with. And he said, you know what? Let me get a second chance. I've got another Spec Says. And I said, all right, because next week's a bye week. You don't get a Spec Says during a bye week. You're lucky we gave you 2. But you're the boss man, so I kind of had to step aside. Let me play for you what Steven Spector. This is what he told me his food opinion for the week is.
All right, it's Buffalo week, it's Bills week, so I'm going to go sweet Thai chili 1, lemon pepper 2, and I'll go Buffalo number 3, but that's not why you have me recording today. I would say 8 out of 10 times at the restaurant, I am going to order boneless wings over bone-in. I'm okay with bone-in wings as an appetizer, but it's not an entree. There's a lot of work involved with eating the wings. It's messy, and the amount of meat per bite is just not worth it to me. I think people say they like bone-in wings more than they do because of the setting that they're in. It's football, you're at a bar, whatever. But the actual food, if you put it in a vacuum, bone-in wings are incredibly overrated.
There's been a lot of opinions that have been given out on this show. Some good, some bad. Some you might agree with, some you disagree with. I mean, that's talk radio. I don't expect you guys to 100% agree with me. That might be the worst opinion that we've ever had on this show. I'm serious. It's very possible that 41 seconds of audio, it was, wrong. I didn't hear one single thing I agreed with. Sweet Thai chili wings, #1? Huh? No, that can't be true. Stop it. That's the best wing flavor? No. So that's #1. And if we're playing Spectre Family Feud, wrong answer. That's #1. #2, bone-in? Boneless? You're taking boneless wings? So this is the scenario we've all been in. Waitress comes by. Hey, how you doing? Oh, man, I'm doing good. Can I hand you a menu? She hands you a menu. You start looking through the menu. And then you're thinking, man, you know what? I got a hankering for some wings. And then she asks you, what do you want? You want boneless or bone-in? If you look at her and you tell her boneless, they should make you leave the restaurant. They should make you leave the facility right then and there. I understand eating boneless wings as a no other option. Like if you're at work and, they just have some food catered in or, they got a little bit of a spread and they only got boneless wings and you go with the boneless wings, sure. I'm not going to judge you. I mean, I'd rather have boneless wings than a slider. I'd rather have a boneless wing than a charcuterie board. But if that's the scenario in which you're doing it, sure. But if you're sitting there at a Wing Stop or you're sitting there at a Buffalo Wild Wings or wherever you get your wings, our dear friends over at the other place, shout out to the other place, talk of the town, and they come up to you and you tell them you want chicken wings and they ask you boneless or bone-in and you tell them you prefer boneless wings, you got to leave immediately. Do not pass go. Do not collect your $200. Go directly to jail. Awful, awful opinion. So another one, he's got 2 strikes right now. It's the pressure the other team can steal. Some of you have already turned the station because you heard so many bad opinions at one time. We're losing audience now. Boneless over bone-in? Terrible. Then the last one, the coup de grace. Did he just say that wings are overrated? Is that what he said on this show? I got to put Speck on timeout. I'm serious. We can't let him keep doing this to us. I'm starting to think when you guys have your meeting every Monday at 10:30, you guys come up with ways to try to sabotage this radio program. I'm starting to think that's the case. I'm starting to think that you two are in cahoots, is what I'm starting to think. Wings are the most overrated food? Terrible stretch. That's a bad stretch of radio we just got there from Steven Spector. I thought his job was to help us with ratings, not drive the ratings away. I blame you for this. I don't know how this is your fault, Rob, but in some capacity, this is your fault.
How on earth is this my fault?
No, I'm putting this on you.
I had no idea he had this opinion. So let's take this step by step. Let's work backwards. I disagree with him on it being the most overrated food. And I'm sitting back here trying to think, what is the most overrated food?
Can I tell you what it is?
I'm curious your opinion.
Are you going to be mad at me?
Probably.
Lobster tail.
Oh, yeah, that's the answer.
Lobster tail.
Lobster's the answer.
And I like lobster tail, but for how much food you get
and the cost,
for how much it costs, lobster tail, very over. Now, it's different if you go to the store and buy your own lobster tail. Like if you go to Price Chopper or Hy-Vee or wherever you get your food from and you go get 2 lobster tails and you throw them on the grill, sure, that's one thing. But we all know when you go somewhere and you order the lobster tail or when you see that MP on the menu, oh, you know you're about to get finessed. Whenever you see MP, you already know you got to take out a loan to get this meal. And then when they bring it out there, the amount of food that you get for now this $72 lobster tail, very overrated food. Very good. Overrated when I'm factoring in amount of food and price.
Okay, so that's a great answer. I agree with you there.
I'm making sure. I don't want you to be mad.
Let's keep working backwards on his take. I do agree with him that bone-in wings are great because of the setting. They're not really a takeout type of meal, but they are the superior wing by a wide margin. The part of his comment that confused me the most is he said bone-in wings are a great appetizer. I think the only time, that boneless wings are acceptable, which I don't know, they're not wings, so I don't know what people call them. The only time a boneless wing is acceptable is in an appetizer setting. Like if me and you are at the other place, and we're like, hey, let's get some wings before we both get burgers. We're probably doing boneless in that scenario just because of convenience. But the fact that he, on an appetizer, hey, I'm going to go bone in before is just, everything about the take was wrong. They're just dissecting each crazy point just makes me more and more crazy back here.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know what boneless wings are? Boneless wings are baby shower food. You know, that's what they are. That's a real good baby shower meal is what it is. That's like whenever your kid graduates from kindergarten and you want to have a couple people over because you want to celebrate. That's when you get the boneless wings. That's when you walk up to the front at Hy-Vee and you tell them you need a party tray because you got a group of people coming over, and then they give you boneless wings, and you're like, all right, I mean, I guess everybody likes boneless wings, but stop it. Come on now. Again, I'm blaming you for this. I really am. I think this is your fault. I don't know how. I need to do a drive investigation to try to figure it out. But you've tried to single on one of our most important weeks of the year, Rob. You tried to sabotage this show. You disrespected Chips Ahoy yesterday for seemingly no reason. It was uncalled for, unwarranted. And then you allowed Steven Spector to come on here and disrespect chicken wings. Rob, you got to tighten up. As a producer, you got to produce better content. You got to tighten up. Coming up on the other side, we'll get back to football. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, this is Doug. I'm a patient with Heartland Men's Health. I've been doing low T treatment for just under a year now. I've always dedicated my life to work. I've always found the time to go to gym. I'm 46 years old. My energy level has been on a roller coaster. With work, when we would have like long, stressful meetings, I would notice that I was very exhausted and drained afterwards. And with the low T treatment, I'm not as stressed. I started to feel a lot more level-headed. The roller coaster kind of went away. I think Heartland Men's Health, they really have it figured out. The professional staff, I think it's a wonderful treatment for men of any age. And it's definitely a benefit I'm going to continue.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Your favorite neighborhood spots run unsquare. You know the ones. Maybe it's the popular shop that just opened a new location by you, or the big sports bar that's always packed on game day. These places make the neighborhood, and the money spent there stays in your community. Square powers more than 4 million neighborhood businesses worldwide. To learn more, go to square.com, or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
The Drive, weekdays starting at 2 on Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station. Welcome back to The Drive on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Tune in on game day to hear them 3 hours before kickoff and immediately following the final whistle. Here's the new pregame and postgame host for the Chiefs Radio Network.
Kansas City wins the game!
Joshua Briscoe.
Joshua Briscoe, before we move forward, because I do want to get your thoughts on Chiefs and Bills. I believe you're going to be in here maybe the whole 3 o'clock hour. You're at the other place, and the waitress comes around and she hands you a menu, and you say, give me a bit. You start to look up and down the menu, and you have decided that you want chicken wings. You then tell the lovely waitress that you want chicken wings, and then she asks you a very important question. Do you want boneless or bone-in? How are you answering that question?
I'm glad you framed it that way, Carrington, because sometime in my past, I stopped trying to impress the waitress. And that's opened up so many opportunities for me. Now, look, can I defend everything that Steven Spector said in that clip? I cannot. And I will not, frankly. But what I am going to say...
I've never ended an in-studio guest 1-2 minutes into
Thanks for having me, fellas. I'll talk to you next week. What I will say... And look, I see a text. Boneless wings are glorified chicken nuggets. I don't disagree with that text. You know what's great? Chicken nuggets covered in sauce. I don't even need to call, quote, boneless wings, wings. I'm not sure they are that. They're chicken nuggets. But there's no other food that we do this performative thing where it's like, it's just not the same if I'm not sucking it off the bone. That's not a feeling that I have that I need to validate.
That's a technical foul on this show, what you just said.
I listened to a lot of fouls go uncalled last segment, is what I'm going to say. I don't need to sit there with one of those rinky-dink little wings trying to get every last bit, get that little piece of meat between the 2 bones on the flat. If I can just pop a nugget in, I'm going to pop a nugget. I'm cool with that. If you're going to a peanut situation where a wing is like pterodactyl size, different ball game. If I want wings, and I'm going to get a big wing, that's cool. Of the places you've mentioned, we also have Jefferson's bring food by for Chiefs games sometimes.
Love Jefferson's.
Love Jefferson's. You know what's great? They're boneless nugs. Their wings are also great. But when they're all out there in the main area, I'm going to take a couple of wings with the bone in, and I'm going to take a couple of nuggets. I'm going to mix it up. I'm a buffalo sauce 1-1 guy. I don't really care about the sweet Thai chili as much as Spec does. I'm just saying I will never turn my nose up at a boneless wing. And I'm not sure what the Chips Ahoy take was, but I'm afraid I might have some empathy for that too.
I think I would have been happier for the last 45 seconds if you had just sung the Rock Chalk song. I
don't have that in my soul. I'm not here to wave the wing. I'm here to wave the wings is what I'm here to do.
I'm just telling you, I would have been happier. I think that would have been a better use of our time.
I'm not here to make you happy, Carrington. I'm here for the audience.
Right now, we got Joshua Briscoe joining us in studio. I do want to talk about this before we move forward to the game against the Buffalo Bills, because I think in order to properly put this into context, I think you have to tell the story of how we got here. This is a team that was 2-3 heading into the Lions game, and people were nervous about the Detroit Lions game for very necessary reasons. The Lions might be the best team in the NFC. Great quarterback, great run game, great weapons, very capable defense. There was reason to be like, all right, hey, the Chiefs are in for a fight against the Detroit Lions. They took control of that fight. They dominated that fight for basically start to finish. And I think you can argue, I mean, these last two games, you got to show me in Chiefs history 2 performances where they dominated a team better than what they dominated. Vegas never had a realistic chance of winning that game. I mean, this game was close against Washington, 7-7 for a little bit. But, I mean, there was a 35, 40-minute stretch where I thought it was pretty clear the Chiefs were better than the Washington Commanders. So I think in order to kind of get ready to preview the game against the Bills, you have to at least tell the story of during this homestand of how the Chiefs became, in my opinion, the best team again in the National Football League.
To your point, it was such a different energy after that Jags game. You had the ebbs and flows of Ravens and Jags, but going into that homestand, I also want to tip my cap because I do think all 3 of those games went so differently. The opponents are obviously different and of different quality throughout. You have the Lions, a real contender, the Commanders, a professional football team, and whatever the Raiders brought that day. But with those 3 games, I think you saw a real challenge, and then you surge at the end against Detroit, but it's a really good team, and you take the opportunity to double dip around the half, something they couldn't do against the Jags. The Raiders game, just a nuclear blowout. You don't see wins like that in the NFL very often, and you never see it in the regular season from the Chiefs. Then that Commanders game, I do think it's important that it was 7-7 at halftime, and at the half, you're sitting there going, okay, well, is this gonna be one of those games where they just hang around and nag, and then, okay, great, this is a 17-13 sweaty win. That wasn't the case. They came out and blew the doors off in the second half. So not only did they claim that title, I think rightfully, of the best team, certainly, I think in the AFC, you're favored against your other argument for that this weekend. I know the Patriots are on the upswing and the Colts are on the upswing. We need to see a little more from them before they can just have that title. I think where the Chiefs stand now is completely solidified by not just these last 3 wins, but how they won those 3 games.
Have you been more impressed with the offense during this 3-game stretch or the defense during this 3-game stretch?
I think I've probably been more impressed by the offense, but I'm not sure that's fair. I think we were also starved for the offense to look like this again. Like, we ate our vegetables so many times last year, talking about the shortcomings of a very good, very productive offense, but not an explosive one, not a fun one. And so being able to see that all come together with all of the receiving weapons, like we heard it in training camp, and I was like, okay, I hope this is true. But I really do believe now when we think about Nagy and Mahomes and Andy Reid all saying during camp, like, no, I think this is like the deepest receiver room we've ever had. I believe that now. I agree with that now. So I think I've been more impressed by seeing the offense hit their heights again, because we just haven't seen it in so long. But I do think the defense has unfairly been kind of glossed over because they've been tremendous in those last 3 games. It's 24 points in the last 3 games, right? Yeah, you'll take that. That's an unbelievable effort that they have given up fewer points in the last 3 weeks than the Chiefs scored against the Commanders.
What I feel very encouraged about heading into this matchup is how they've done against the run. They played Detroit, maybe the best run game in the National Football League, held them to 98 yards rushing. The Raiders, they couldn't get anything going. The Commanders, they stopped them on the ground. I know we're diving deep into this game against the Buffalo Bills. I mean, last week, James Cook ran for 200-something yards on less than 20 carries last week. I mean, maybe the best game he had of his career. Yeah. I feel good coming into this knowing James Cook might have a good game. I find it very unlikely that he is going to have a great game. We can go historically with how the Chiefs' run defense has performed. We also can go here and now. Teams just don't run the football super successfully against Kansas City's defense.
That no one has broken that trend this year, and they've played a lot of very good running backs. We can do the whole list or not, but it's Amarian Hampton and Saquon Barkley in the early days of Cam Scatterbo, and then the Ravens, they ran the ball with Justice Hill at the very end. That really skewed the numbers there. Travis Etienne, Gibbs and Montgomery, Ashton Genty, and then Jordan Krosky-Merritt last week. None of these number 1 running backs, all of those guys, I think, I mean, maybe Krosky-Merritt, he certainly has like the least pedigree, and Scatterbo in week 3, we didn't really know. But other than that, I mentioned, I think nothing but top 10, top 15 running backs, and maybe the rookies need to be on a tier lower than that. but the Chiefs have handled all of those guys very, very well. It was the legs of Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, and Lamar Jackson wasn't even scrambling really before he got hurt, not very successfully. These number one backs have not punished the Chiefs this year. And to your point, historically, we might have half a dozen instances now of talking about, like, is Derrick Henry going to be able to keep his offense afloat against Patrick Mahomes, going back to the Tennessee days? And the answer was always no. So I really do think that is a vital part of the story of this entire season. Number one running backs for these teams, none of them have had the days that you would expect going into that game.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Joshua Briscoe. He is the pre- and post-game host on the Chiefs Radio Network. You'll hear that here on 96.5 The Fan, getting you ready for one of the biggest regular season games of the year in the National Football League between the Chiefs and the Bills. I want to go back one more time, and then we'll look ahead to the game against Buffalo. I asked this question to Rob yesterday. If you could change one thing about the first 8 games for the Chiefs, you can't name Xavier Worthy's injury. You can't name Rashee Rice's suspension. What's the one thing you would change about the early part of the season? While you think about it, I would change the pick 6 against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I think they win that game. I also probably would have used Smith a little bit more in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they're going to need him on Sunday, but they're going to need him. He hasn't really gotten a lot of meaningful carries in the first 8 games of the season. So those are the 2 things I would change. The pick 6, I also would have got Brashard Smith a little bit more involved in the first 8 games, especially in those first 3 games. Now, I know there other things change their offense, but if you start to look at the first 3 weeks and when they really, really struggled, and then when they started implementing Brashard Smith, I mean, there's a night and day difference for how their offense started to perform.
Yeah, those are good answers. So I think an interesting question. I can't help but think about Travis Kelce because he causes the Worthy injury, and he basically has 2 interceptions on him this season, which is kind of bizarre. So I think that I already mentioned that middle 8 against the Jags, and that's not a single moment. I don't know if you can just do something differently, but if it's the pick 6 or if it's the middle 8 before and after the half against the Jaguars, I think that's where I think first. The Worthy one would be the right answer, and we're not allowed to pick it. I do really think back to that Eagles game, and if Travis Kelce catches that pass instead of tipping it up, I don't know how much it ends up mattering. I like the Chargers game is going to matter more in the standings than the Eagles game did, and the Jags game probably will too. Just AFC, NFC, obviously with the Chargers, it's in the division, but I do think for like a singular moment, Patrick Mahomes not getting got on a really well-done, unscouted look against the Jags, turning into that pick 6. I think that's probably second. I think I want Travis Kelce to catch that touchdown instead of let it pop up against the Eagles. But on some level, the silver lining of all of this team has seemed pretty dialed in since starting 0-2. If they're 1-1, I don't know what the rest of the season looks like.
In week 2, I picked the Eagles to win, and I just thought it was pretty clear. Like, the Eagles are better than Kansas City, and that played itself out on the field. I feel that exact same way, just in reverse this time. I think the Chiefs are just better than Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think they're better at quarterback. I think right now they're better on the offensive line. I think they have more weapons and more things they can do offensively. I think their defense is better. I understand why this is a coin flip spread kind of game, and it wouldn't surprise me if this game heading into the final 8 minutes of it is a one-possession close ball game, because all of these games end up being this way. I just think the Chiefs are better than Buffalo. That's why I'm picking them.
I think I'm in the same boat with you there. And, you're right. And you were talking about this with Steve Tasker, whatever it was a little bit ago. And that it does always come down to one of those moments. It is always one of those, you have a snapshot for most of these games that you can boil it all down to. I don't think we usually should. Like, I don't think that most of those moments aren't the singular thing that decided the game, but when everything else is so tight, when everything is just trading off points and trading possessions and being in such tight quarters that way, the most memorable final thing, that's what decides, regular season win or loss, or if you're going to the Super Bowl or going to the AFC Championship game or whenever you meet. So I think I'm with you, though, where this version of the Chiefs, it feels kind of silly now after how the season began. But I think you can look at both sides of the ball and make the argument that this is some of the best stuff we've seen. The defense still has legitimate issues, but the results have been so excellent in these last 3 weeks that I don't think that can be a fluke. Then you have what the offense looks like, where it kind of feels like they're back at full firepower for the first time in a very long time. Maybe the first time since trading Tyreek Hill, really. Obviously, there were still good offenses cobbled together there, but what they have in terms of all these pass catchers and what that does for opposing defenses, I just don't know how you answer all of those questions that you have to answer if you are a defense trying to slow down the Chiefs right now.
Another thing that it worries me, that's not the word I would use when it comes to Buffalo, is when Buffalo has played a team that I think has a pulse, they've lost that game. When you look at their wins so far. Now, I think it's a little bit unfair to Baltimore. At that point, Baltimore was a healthy team. We thought Baltimore was going to be good. Obviously, that's not the way the season turned around. But, beating Baltimore in that first week of the season, I would consider to be a good win. We got to use a little bit of hindsight and context. Outside of that, Jets, Dolphins, Saints, they just beat Carolina last week. You've beat some of the bad teams in the National Football League, which is fine. You're going to play those teams from time to time. The Chiefs just beat the Commanders with their backup quarterback and the Raiders. So you got to at least acknowledge that. They played New England. All right, you got a home game against another good team in your division. The only competitive team in your division. You got to figure out a way to win that game. They lose. They then go on the road, Thursday Night Football. They really got dominated by the Atlanta Falcons. Buffalo has to show me this year's team, not last year, not 3 years ago. The 2025 Bills have to show me they can beat one of the top-tier teams. They haven't done it yet.
I watched every second of this Falcons game, and I still don't remember what happened. I don't understand.
Bijan Robinson happened.
And that's true. That's true, I guess. But, man, to be in that space where suddenly you're a football team that can lose to a running back having a great day like that lowers your stock a little bit in my mind in terms of how serious of a contender you actually are. You're right. It was just an absolute Bijan takeover game. I don't think the Chiefs need to have a Rashee Rice takeover game. I just think they need to play offense. And if you do have that, the stat sheet against Washington is hilarious because nobody quite got to 100 yards. Rice ended up over 100 all-purpose because of his little rush that was nearly a score. But I really do think that just a functional, kind of comfortable Mahomes game, and we'll find out, I guess, it seems like Trey Smith's got a shot to go, and Caliendo was fine. Jalen Moore was much better in the second half. So if the offensive line is good enough for Mahomes to say comfortable, the Chiefs are obviously better than all of those teams you mentioned, the Bills beating. And you're right about Baltimore. It was different back at the beginning of the season. But now we have the hindsight of knowing what that defense ultimately really did look like. So them beating Lamar's version of the Ravens, that counts. Them putting up 41 points on that Ravens defense isn't as impressive as it was at the time because we've seen how that defense collapsed after. Or started collapsing then perhaps. So all that I'm with you here. I think there is a bit of reputational coasting for Buffalo right now where and reputational, I don't know, a holding back on the Patriots because you go, well, I don't know. It's Drake May, and is this version of the Patriots team really as good as it looks right now? A little skepticism that comes that way. And Buffalo, I think, gets kind of just shuffled along into those top 1, 2, 3 teams lists. But if the records were exchanged, we would not be talking about them that way. We would be talking about the Bills on this pedestal that, frankly, they haven't won their way onto that pedestal this year. So to your point, how do you answer some of the questions you've had all season, and now you have to answer them without Ed Oliver?
Buffalo, to me, if they let this opportunity go by, the same way we talk about in college football, sometimes your schedule is built for you to make a run to the college football playoff. You got the right games at home. You got the right everything. Everything should come together. There's an expectation for you to be able to break through. Buffalo plays all of their big games at home this year. They have Baltimore at home, Kansas City's at home, Tampa Bay is at home, Philadelphia later on in the season is home. So it's any team that you think
they're hosting Cincinnati, which probably doesn't matter now, but at the beginning of the season,
we
Bills, Bengals at home.
Yep. We thought it was going to mean something. You're also in a division with 2 of the 6 bottom teams in the league with the Jets and the Dolphins. If the Bills end up having to go on the road to Kansas City, that's a massive fumble of your regular season. This was supposed to be the year. A lot of continuity. You re-signed James Cook. You did this. You did that. You brought in Bosa. This was supposed to be the year. Your last year in your old stadium. This was supposed to be the year. Now they
breakout year for Keon Coleman. Everyone's watching for that, right?
And you could be potentially going on the road to Arrowhead again in January. You fumbled the regular season if that ends up happening for Buffalo.
And on the other side, I think that picking the Chiefs to at least struggle through the AFC West was a popular thing to do before the season. Frankly, the only team I've been wrong about in the AFC West this year has been the Raiders because I thought they'd be better than they've been so far. I just thought the Geno Pete Carroll thing would result in competence, and it really hasn't. But the Chargers and Broncos are both ahead of the Chiefs right now in the standings because obviously the Chargers have the tiebreaker, and the Broncos have a game up in the record column. This is built not only for Buffalo to be able to be the 1 seed, it could have been an argument for them to start looking ahead, especially after you realize what's happening with Baltimore and especially after the Joe Burrow injury. You could have been looking and saying, you know what, let's do one of those Chiefs things where we just rest guys in week 18. Or maybe we've got our division locked up by Christmas again. Like that path for them, I thought, made a ton of sense. And for whatever this combination of these few reasons, the margins are still so tight in the NFL. The Bills did not transcend any of that. And now we're right back at the same old point where you're looking around going, okay, is this a must-win game for Buffalo? I mean, it shouldn't have been, but you drop a couple games that you don't want to drop, or you look around and the Chiefs are surging after starting 0-2. And I have to imagine, I don't know how much it permeates the locker room, but I'm certain it permeates the fan base. I imagine that Bills fans right now are having a little bit of that deja vu of, oh no, not this again. Like, and not our last year in the home stadium. There's a chance that the Chiefs either put not a nail in the Bills' coffin, but put a real dent in their campaign for the 1 seed for the AFC East with the Chiefs' last game in that stadium on Sunday, or you get the funniest possible outcome, which is the Chiefs going there after all in the playoffs and closing that stadium with a Chiefs win. Would also be hilarious. That was almost expected 2 months ago. Now the Bills need to make some things happen for that to occur.
What is your favorite Chiefs and Bills memory aside from the 13-second? That's the number one. I think that's the best game ever played at Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
What would you say is number two? Because for me, my number two is Buffalo finally got their home game. They always had to go on the road to Kansas City in the playoffs, 13-second AFC Championship game. They finally got it. Mahomes goes in there and beats them, and that image of him running off the field and those fans, I mean, they're like Sandy Koufax the way they were throwing those snowballs at him. That's my favorite moment and memory. What's yours from this rivalry over the last handful of games?
You're right that the 13 seconds one has to be number one, and then we got, I'm answering now with the one that you told me I wasn't allowed to answer with, but I'm going down memory lane thinking through, trying to see if I have a better one than what you just pitched there. The thing with the 13-second game is that we ended up having like the NFL films and the mic'd up and the do it Kels and seeing how much that felt like backyard football and the back and forth of both teams believing that, okay, we've probably got it, but we need to get to the end of this game. So I think 13 seconds is number one. I think getting it done in Buffalo, the like rise of Allen face along like Eli Manning face on the sidelines and seeing the number of times that Josh Allen just ended up with that, mile-long stare and thinking, oh, okay, my season's ending the same way again. I have done everything again. I have played MVP caliber football again, and it's still ending at the hands of the one quarterback who's doing this better than me year in and year out. Those like literal images end up sticking out in my mind. But the 13-second game is elite. I'm also remembering now Rashee Rice like looking out at in Buffalo. Rashee Rice looking out into the stands, pointing at the scoreboard and pointing at fans. I think that was when the snowballs started coming in. So many of those iconic moments.
One thing we don't talk nearly enough about that, whenever we're done with Mahomes' career and we go back and we try to tell stories from it. I mean, this was during COVID, you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City was 4-1. Buffalo was 4-1. The Chiefs won that day, 26-17. They ran the ball 46 times. They threw it 26 times. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 26 carries for 161 yards.
Good Lord.
We don't talk nearly enough about Clyde Edwards-Helaire Day when they went on the road and beat the Bills because nobody was in the stands. If you remember, that was when New York, they had different COVID restrictions. No fan was allowed at the stadium.
Darwin Thompson got 3 carries in that game. Just going down memory lane. Oh, Byron Pringle. Yeah, 2 for 46 for Byron Pringle. 37-yarder. Incredible. And so that one was followed by, we have to keep our Chiefs-Bills games in line here. So that was 26-17, October of COVID, and then that gets followed, the run-heavy game of it all. Then that gets followed in the playoffs by 29 of 38 for 325 through the air for Mahomes and 3 touchdowns and sacked once and the 71-yarder. God, I love this is the other thing I was talking with the Buffalo channel earlier this week. The one thing that I also Cole Beasley led the Bills for 7 for 88 in this game. Stephon Diggs was behind Cole Beasley. I really do love what this rivalry brings out because there is a joyfulness in the way that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen both play football that inspires the I love NFL Street. NFL Street 2 is like a top 5 game all time for me. So influential to the things I love about football. It's quarterback straight out of NFL Street. It's defenses that have legit players on it, but can never do quite enough to hold down these just like alien superhero quarterbacks. And it creates so many of these moments and these clashes between two fan bases that I really do think understand each other, or at least did for a while. Maybe it's gotten, sometimes that happens in life. Somebody moves in one direction and somebody moves in another direction. Oh, you know what? Maybe we don't have all the same stuff in common that we had 10 years ago. But Chiefs and Bills fans grew up feeling a lot of the same feelings. And I think that's another reason that there's that extra energy underneath what this rivalry's become.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Joshua Briscoe of the Chiefs Radio Network. Coming up on the other side, we are going to play a game. Ooh. I'm going to give you a handful of quarterbacks, and I want you to answer the question if you think they will ever win a Super Bowl. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching.
Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Let's qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This report is brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. On the Missouri side, 71 Highway North, sluggish from 22nd Street, heading into downtown. 70 is slow eastbound, approaching Sterling Avenue. And in Overland Park, watch for a crash at Highway 69 northbound near 143rd Street. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. They've been in business since 2012, offering residential service and project work, light commercial and router service. Visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule. I'm Kelly Rush, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, coming up in a bit, we are going to play a game. Before we do that, let me tell you guys that you can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game all season long, kicking off with the juicy Week 9 matchup between the Chiefs and the Bills. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. So, I have appropriately named this game, Do You Think They Get a Chip? But before we get to that, I have to ask you the question that we were asking earlier in the week. Do you like Chips Ahoy or Oreo cookies more?
Okay, this is where the Chips Ahoy thing came from.
Yes.
I prefer a chocolate chip cookie in most circumstances, but if I'm going for a packaged cookie, I will go Oreo over Chips Ahoy 7 out of 10 times. It's close, but I'd narrowly go Oreo in the packaged cookie department.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Thank you, Rob. Good to be here.
Let's move on, Rob. Please play the music. I'm going to ask you 5
Famous Amos, however. Go ahead, sorry.
You're picking Oreos over Famous Amos?
Probably. I don't know. I think so.
Okay, like if you're at...
I like a Chips Ahoy, don't get me wrong.
I'm just trying to think of like if you're at the concession stand and they got the Famous Amos in there and then they got the Oreo, you know, that little mini sleeve of Oreo, and they're both $1.25. It's a no-brainer I'm getting the Famous Amos. It sounds like you're getting the Oreos.
It's context dependent. I'll have Oreo days. Look, man, I'm a man of variety. I'm a man of taste.
Can we move on, please?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm asking you, can we move on?
Absolutely. No, please
what
do.
You've been spewing is a lot of foolishness.
No, please go ahead.
I'm sorry for
interrupting. I'm sorry for derailing your wonderful radio program. I do apologize. Go ahead.
Do they get a chip or not?
Is a chewy Chips Ahoy good for you, Rob, or is that worse? I think I prefer a crispy one to a chewy one. Sorry,
Look at the way he's shaking his head. Just so many bad opinions on this show.
Are Oreo flavors a mix of it?
Yeah, I don't want.
Are they a factor?
I don't want any Oreo.
What about double stuff?
Drake May.
I kind of think he might, man. It's so early. I was just thinking about this during the break. Showing that we'd be playing. Some of these guys are aging up a little bit. Drake May, I think, is going to be around for a while. Getting an actual championship, though, is so hard. Right now, I'm going to say no, but I'm open. I'm a Drake May. Drake May curious.
I think we are doing the thing with Drake May that we do every single year in the NFL. This is the fourth consecutive year we've done this.
Yeah.
A couple of years back, everybody loved C.J. Stroud.
We love doing this.
Last year, we loved Jaden Daniels.
Can't help
now
it.
we've moved on from Jaden Daniels, and now we've picked up Drake May.
We get itchy.
And then next year, we'll find somebody. Next year will be Jackson Dart that everybody's like, oh, we love him now. Like, why are we doing this? We do this every single year. I spin the wheel of quarterback.
I think Drake May might actually have it. I think he might actually be that MVP caliber player who might actually have a chance against an older Josh Allen, an older Patrick Mahomes. I think Drake May might still be that guy where he does. Here's the thing. I don't think he's winning it on his rookie contract, and that's the easiest time to win it. So I'm still going a soft no on him, but I am kind of buying what I'm seeing there, learning nothing from the last 3 years.
The Patriots have 6 wins this season. 5 of them are against Miami, Carolina, New Orleans, Tennessee, and Cleveland. We don't have to do this with everybody.
No. I said
we
no.
don't have to do this.
I said no.
Justin Herbert. Does he get a chip?
Probably not. I'm going to say no. At the end, I'm curious to figure out who I'm going to say yes to. So I'm really just taking this one player at a time. But I think I'm telling you the Los Angeles Chargers are not getting a chip. And unless Justin Herbert has a final act somewhere else, I guess that means he doesn't either.
Lamar Jackson.
Feels like the window's moving the wrong direction, right? Feels like the window is sliding shut. I guess he doesn't.
Go ahead and say no.
I guess
I can see you inching closer to the no.
Here's the problem, man. I'm trying to figure out who my yeses are going to be. I'm thinking ahead, and somebody's got to win these championships, right? Mahomes can't win them all. It's not all Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, right? One of the, either Burrow or Lamar has to win one eventually, doesn't he?
Do you think Allen gets one eventually?
I do. Again, I think his window is shrinking. I think this year would have been a year to maybe have a good defense or a professional wide receiver. I'm not sure he has either of those.
You know what I would love? I would love for you as the voice of pregame and postgame for the Kansas City Chiefs radio network. I would love for you at the beginning of the season to say, you know what? I think Buffalo's winning the championship.
I think
Mitch Holtis might be the one that fires you if you gave that opinion. He'd come in there immediately.
I definitely don't think it's happening this year.
You're fired.
I think eventually Josh Allen wins one. He's the guy that I think I'm holding out my idealistic hope for. I feel like he deserves one. That doesn't mean anything.
Jordan Love.
Ooh, that's fun. I think he's got the best situation. I feel like the best situation right now in terms of some of those surrounding circumstances, and that matters. I don't like Jordan Love more than I like quarterbacks I've said no to, but I do kind of like his setup. I think LaFleur in Jordan Love is a pretty good bet. Yeah, I think the Packers get one while Jordan Love happens to be their quarterback. Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and see where I end up.
Right now we're playing Do You Think He Gets a Chip? Moving on. Jared Goff.
No. I know it's nice. I know it's a
You didn't even hesitate really on Jared Goff.
I just think
you were a little hesitant, like you didn't want to say it, but you didn't hesitate in yes or no. You didn't waver.
You're right. I did not cloak it. I thought more about Drake May than I did Jared Goff. Because there
wasn't a whole lot of him and Han.
No, I'm really trying to think about like the next 5 years because it's hard to predict further than that. But you look at the immediate right now. Again, I feel like Jared Goff's not the reason the Lions aren't gonna win football games. Like I think he deserves more credit than he's probably gotten for the most part. But I don't think they're gonna win a championship.
Jaden Daniels.
He has the rookie window still that I am optimistic about. I don't think we're getting a Washington Commanders Super Bowl parade in the next 10 years. That doesn't feel right to me still. So I'm gonna say no.
Brock Purdy.
No. Mac Jones maybe.
Don't do that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Why are we doing that with Brock?
Because he's pleasantly overpaid. That's okay. He's very good, and he's gotten better. I do think Brock Purdy deserves a little more respect. Like, we do this for guys who either weren't high draft picks or have kind of bored us at some point or another, been moved on from like Goff has. And the only quarterback Kyle Shanahan can't win with, apparently, is Trey Lance. I don't know what to do with that.
It's in my contract every week that I have to ask you, are you a believer in the Indianapolis Colts? Because every week I ask you, they beat a team by 30 points, and then you tell me that you don't believe in them. So I have to ask you, are you a believer?
Do I think Daniel Jones is winning a championship? No. Genuinely. Because I think it's time. I think it's time for me.
Their point differential is 116.
What does believing in them mean?
Smoking teams.
What does believing in them mean?
Do you think they can make the AFC Championship game or better?
Yes. I think they could make the AFC Championship game. I think if they are the foil in the AFC Championship game, most likely to the Chiefs, maybe to the Bills, maybe to somebody else. Maybe it's God, can you imagine a Colts-Patriots Championship game? That would set us back, literally, it would set us back 15 years. I don't know how I would feel about seeing that again.
I actually think America would like seeing 2 new quarterbacks in there.
I kind of think you're right. The same brands, but 2 new faces with the teams, new coaches and new quarterbacks. I think people might actually like that. They're so sick of the Chiefs. It's really about who's won recently, right? But no, I think the Colts are legitimately a very good football team. And I think Jones is one of those guys that deserves that credit. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but I tell you, I think they could be in the AFC Championship game. What's that now? A block kick and a tipped interception, and now they're a Super Bowl team. So the margins are very thin, but I think if they have a couple good bounces, I think they could absolutely be in an AFC Championship game.
How excited are you to bet against the Colts in the second round of the playoffs?
Pretty
because
excited.
You are absolutely betting against them.
Yeah.
We already know they're going to be like 3.5-point favorites, and we're going to take the other team on the money line. It's going to be great.
So what's the funniest matchup there? Is it them hosting the wild card Bills? Because that sucks for them. It's like, all right, we got an Indianapolis Colts home game. We love the Colts. We are the Colts is the song the guy sings on Instagram.
At this point, if you're telling me that the Colts, I mean, I guess I'm tripping. I was about to say if they lose the division, but they'd be the home team in that scenario.
So that's what I'm saying. So like if the Colts win the division and they host the Bills, nobody's betting on the Colts in that game, right? No one's really. Maybe they should.
They'll be a slight favorite, but no, the public will be all over the Buffalo Bills in that matchup for sure.
The AFC is such a mess right now. Which is such a funny thing to be able to say from Kansas City, looking up at a messy AFC. Like, I don't know how many of these teams I'd really want to bet a whole lot on at any given point for anything.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Joshua Briscoe, getting you ready for Chiefs and Bills. We'll get back to that coming up on the other side. We'll talk about Josh Allen. I believe we are getting very close to it being time. That's coming up. Keep it right here, The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel, because FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot means that you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each and every week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores either the first or the last touchdown in the game, then you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to take a shot at the jackpot. Remember my promo code KFNZ for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt in. Must apply profit Pitocin on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit KSGamblingHelp.com.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect, our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Today, I'm here to tell you about an exciting offer for the remainder of the month. While supplies last, Victory is offering 3 ways to save on all remaining 2025 Ram half-tons, the winner of the coveted Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Here's how it works. You get a pick from 3 great offers like $5,000 off and 0% for 72 months on all remaining 2025 Ram 1500s, or $11,000 off and 3.9% for 72 months, or an astonishing $16,000 off with standard financing. Folks, it's no secret, it's been the same for years. The best time to buy a new pickup truck is during the model year-end closeout. Business owners, come see us today and ask about additional year-end savings from Ram exclusively for you. Supplies are dwindling fast, so hurry in and take advantage of this offer. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
In Overland Park, 69 Highway, very slow northbound, starting at 151st Street. Missouri side, 71 Highway northbound, sluggish from 22nd Street into downtown. Speeds return to normal around 10th Street. I'm Kelly Rush, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
The only place in town to hear the hypothetical button game is on The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk about a couple of the ways that these organizations are linked together. Right now, we're happy to be joined in studio right now by Joshua Briscoe, avid Chips Ahoy fan and also a guy who loves him a good bone-in chicken wing.
That might as well be true. I'm not here to hate on food opinions. I'm here to accept lots of them into my heart and, more importantly, my stomach.
You know what? I'll throw another topic that we had out there. This is, I guess, two questions that we had yesterday. I'll get your opinion on before we wrap it up with the game. The first one is, name an iconic Kansas City restaurant that you haven't been to. So my answer was Golden Ox. I've never been to the Golden Ox before. That is a steakhouse that has been talked about my entire life, and for whatever reason, I just haven't been there yet. The other one would be the Majestic for me. Is there a classic Kansas City, iconic, very popular spot that you have not eaten at yourself?
I've done a couple of shows from the Majestic the last couple of months. It's lovely. I haven't eaten there yet,
Okay.
though. So I've been there before it's actually open. So the Majestic would be on there, and I've been a big fan of being out there.
You got a hookup out there? You can put me in touch with somebody?
I might a little bit. I'll
all
talk
right,
to you a little bit after.
Give me somebody's number then.
I might have a couple numbers for you. I immediately started thinking about the last couple of like barbecue places. Like I haven't been to Slaps somehow, and people are always like, "You should like Slaps is like top 5."
Very good.
And I think that's the one that I think about like just having some guilt towards. That's not necessarily the echelon I think you're shooting for. I have not been to the Golden Ox. I didn't even know that existed. I don't get to find out about that. That sounds fancy. That sounds expensive. If you have a hookup, maybe we exchange contacts.
It's around the corner from Old Kemper Arena, now called Hy-Vee Arena. It's down there like in the West Bottoms kind of area. The other one is, if you were playing Kansas City Family Feud, and the question was, name the most popular non-barbecue restaurant. So if it was a place where if somebody was like, man, I've lived here my whole life, but I've never eaten that fill in the blank, what would the number one answer be? I said Town Topic is the number one answer. I would look at you a little funny if you lived in Kansas City for 30, 40 years and you've never been to Town Topic. I also think Winstead's has number one answer possibilities.
Both good. I'd love to add something on top. I was thinking more like does Garozzo's reach that level? I think Winstead's is great. Town Topic is great. Town Topic is a harder one to like send people to because again, thinking about sit down restaurant versus drop in and experience this. I think Garozzo's is probably the one that I would lean towards on the sit down side, and I think Town Topic is probably the number one overall pick in terms of getting a piece of Kansas City in a very real way. It's non-barbecue.
All right, so let's wrap it up with this, at least when it comes to the game and comes to Sunday. I have all the respect in the world for Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the National Football League. he looks like everything Cam Newton should have been, like just the absolute best version of Cam Newton's career.
Yeah.
He's kind of reached that point to me. I call it the LeBron James effect. LeBron is at this point where only 3 things matter. Did you win MVP? Did your team win the championship? Did you make it to the championship? No one cares about anything else. If LeBron goes out there, has 40 points, 28 rebounds, and 9 assists, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, let me know when you guys win another championship. That's kind of where I feel Josh Allen is. Josh Allen could go out there and over 400 yards on Sunday.
Yep.
He could throw for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. He'll be the favorite to win the MVP again. He might win the award again. Once you get to January, people are going to ask the same question over and over and over. When are you winning a championship? That's where I think he is. And it feels like it's time. At this stage in your career, if you've already won an MVP, you're getting close to 30. And now we are already seeing the next generation of quarterbacks come after you.
Right.
Herbert, Nix, all of
Drake
those
May's
guys.
leading your division right now.
Drake May, Jaden Daniels. When you see that next group of quarterbacks and you still don't have one, it feels like it's time for him.
To the LeBron effect of it all, like there's not an easy way for him to end up doing what LeBron did, but like this is LeBron never leaving Cleveland. Because Josh Allen also carries the generational trauma and expectations and the history of the Buffalo Bills. So he's doing it even more so than, I think Lamar Jackson might be in a similar spot, but it's totally different because that's an organization that not only has won a Super Bowl, has won a Super Bowl with this same head coach that's there right now. So I think that Josh Allen, I think that LeBron comp to him is a very, very good one. And it ends up being almost unfair because I think you're right. I think Josh Allen can be the clear-cut second best quarterback in football. And I think he, in a lot of ways, I think he's correctly probably the second most influential quarterback in football. Lamar is incredibly unique, but I think what Josh Allen does is something that has influenced these last 5 years of scouting and drafting and how many of these players. Well, you know what? It was really year 2 before Josh Allen started putting it together, and now you have a little more patience for quarterbacks who aren't taking the jump that Josh Allen did. The thing that I think we're going to end up looking back on, I'm a Phoenix Suns fan to connect our NBA analogies here. I wonder if Josh Allen is going to retire Charles Barkley, where it's just going to be this guy who everybody universally acknowledges. You had every individual accolade. You were nearly at the very top of your sport your entire career. Like, you have been generationally excellent. You were born at the wrong time. You entered the league at the wrong time because you ran into the 1 or 2 buzzsaws that were just running constantly in your sport. And on that level, like, I kind of hope that's not Josh Allen's legacy. I think he deserves better than that with what he's already done. But then you're like, well, yeah, but so how does he get to the Super Bowl? Is it by beating the Chiefs? Like, oh yeah, you know what? I don't feel so bad anymore. Like, I'm not here to save Josh Allen's legacy that way. But you're right. He's one of he and Patrick Mahomes might be the only 2 players in football judged that way now. I think Lamar hasn't been fully forced down that path yet because he still gets so much credit for what he does individually. Mahomes and Josh Allen are the guys that are going to be judged. MVP, yes or no. Championship, yes or no. Maybe Allen gets credit for getting to a Super Bowl and losing like Burrow did. But ultimately, Mahomes has answered that question with ring after ring after ring, and so many of these appearances, never failing to get to the AFC Championship game. And every time the playoffs roll around, now the question is like, so is this going to be the year Josh Allen finally breaks the curse? While Mahomes, you pencil him into the championship game every year.
Yeah, I led the show with this where Mahomes is one of the few true superstars that never really had to answer can he win the big one? Right. Because you think about it. I mean, first year he's in the National Football League. He gets to the AFC Championship game. The second year, they go win the championship. Like, when was this time where the national conversation is Patrick Mahomes good enough to win the championship?
It was like the first 2 weeks as a starter. that was it.
That was it. But you think about
you
think about Kevin Durant. We had that question for 7 years of his career.
Yes.
Michael Jordan had to answer this question. There's so many athletes that had to do it. So in some ways, I think the Chiefs fans are spoiled because their experience with a superstar is just so unique to what everybody else had to do. Like, every other great player, Steph Curry, LeBron, had to answer this question. And that's the part, and that's where Josh Allen is in his career. He's at the point where we all acknowledge how great he is. He's so good. He's so dominant. We all acknowledge this. The one question is can you be someone who at the end of the season is the last man standing?
I like the idea that right now Chiefs fans are spoiled kind of in the way that like a rescue dog is spoiled, where it's like, we found this dog on the street. We could count its ribs. Its hair was all matted, and it had just been living out here, living the hard life for a year on the road, and then a family adopted this dog and then just showered it with treats and toys and attention for the rest of its days. Chiefs fans paid the price to be spoiled now in this iteration, but you're right that there was not ever real opportunity. And I'm sure there was a bad segment of sports television at some point during Mahomes' first year as a starter, but as we saw it in the final week of the regular season of his rookie year, you saw special stuff from Mahomes that just made you excited to see it. When those claws really come out, from a narrative perspective, it's after you stub your toe the first time. It's the first time you truly fail. The most annoying Mahomes discourse came after the Bengals AFC Championship game loss. And it was this one bad game of playoff football that really was the only bad game of playoff football they played until they lost to the Bucs.
I would actually argue the only time that Mahomes really had to answer this question was after the Tyreek Hill trade.
Yeah, sure, because the circumstances
that was
changed.
the time.
Sure, right, and I think if anyone who was paying attention, I don't think ever had real doubts. I think you could ask the question, but I don't think you were in here saying, I don't know if Mahomes is still going to be the guy without Tyreek Hill. You could ask if the game was going to change and how that evolution was going to go, but he's just had so much success.
I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm not afraid to pick against the Chiefs. I've picked against the Chiefs this season. To kind of bring this conversation full circle, the same way that I felt in week 2, where I just felt that the Eagles were better than the Chiefs. I just feel that the Chiefs are better than the Bills, and I think they win this game. I think they're playing better than them in almost everything that we can quantify. I think they're better at quarterback. Their offense is better. Their defense is better. I think they're playing more cohesively. To me, they are more battle-tested this season than I think Buffalo is. I'm picking the Chiefs in this game.
I'm with you. I think the two things that could have had me giving more credit to Buffalo this year and in this game is if you said, okay, well, can you get pressure without having to manufacture it, something the Chiefs still struggle with? And the Chiefs have had Chris Jones playing really good football, and a ton of football at that. But Chris Jones has been playing very well. Ed Oliver's out. And then the second thing, what do the weapons look like around your quarterback? Patrick Mahomes has the best collection of weapons he's had in years, and Josh Allen is still trying to figure out if Keon Coleman's going to be somebody. James Cook is legit. Like, that's a real weapon, but we talked about this at the beginning of the hour. The Chiefs have been so good at taking away your first option. Is Dalton Kincaid or Dawson Knox, is there going to be an annoying tight end versus Shamari Connor matchup somewhere? Yeah, sure. I don't think they're going to shut Buffalo out, but I agree with you. I think the Chiefs are a better football team, and I think they're a better football team in the most important places.
That was our guy, Joshua Briscoe, joining us in studio. Be sure to catch him on Sunday right here on 96.5 as he gets you ready for one of the biggest games of the NFL regular season between the Chiefs and the Bills. Coming up on the other side, I want to talk about the power of one. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
In Overland Park, 69 Highway, very slow northbound, starting at 151st Street. Missouri side, 71 Highway northbound, sluggish from 22nd Street into downtown. Speeds return to normal around 10th Street. I'm Kelly Rush, 96.5, The Fan Traffic.
This is the take care of my family goal. This is the enjoy the life I've built goal. This is the set up a foundation goal. This is Busey, where your goals become lasting legacies. Through bespoke plans that maximize your wealth, through partnerships that give you peace of mind. Because building wealth, tending to it, and passing it down secures a brighter future. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Shopping for a new Ford? Go where it's easy. Rob Sight Ford. Non-commissioned staff, huge trade-in values, and Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. Rob Sight Ford. ROBSIGHT.com.
Bud Light and Tanners are teaming up to make every college game day legendary. Every Saturday, rep your college team, catch every play, and enjoy $15 buckets. Only at Kansas area Tanners locations. Bud Light and Tanners. From the stands to the bar, your game day headquarters.
With Lowe's Blueprint Takeoff, you can turn blueprints into competitive quotes. Bring us your plans. We'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting faster and easier. Visit the Lowe's Pro Desk to get started today.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wildcat fans, this is Wyatt Thompson. Tune in all season long to the play-by-play of the 2025 football season, right here on your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, a couple of things here. And I think this all goes in line with what I think this next topic's going to be. Binkley wants to talk some football, so you know we're always happy to have Binkley. He'll join us in studio in a bit. I want to read this top text that we have. C-Dot, Josh Allen is the most overrated player of our generation, and it's not close. He always disappears in big games. This is where sometimes I think we allow kind of narratives to run wild when it's not checked by anything. Do you guys want to know what Josh Allen's touchdown to interception ratio is in the postseason? Rob, Josh Allen has thrown 25 touchdowns in the postseason and 4 interceptions. Now, you might say against bad teams. Against Kansas City, he has 9 touchdown passes and 1 interception. Now, he has come up short on individual drives, and the Bills have had chances to win. And this is not me putting on a cape for Josh Allen. But what I think we at least need to acknowledge about him and players that are in this conversation is there is such a razor-thin margin between you getting one and not having one. And the perception of how we feel about you is drastically different when you get one as opposed to zero. In fact, I don't know if there is anything that changes your individual perception. I don't think that 2 helps you as much. Maybe getting the 3 helps you, but the difference in having no championships and going to 1 championships, night and day. Dan Marino is probably better than a lot of these quarterbacks that we talk about. But if you're a really good quarterback that doesn't win a championship, you know what you end up getting labeled? You end up getting labeled Dan Marino. Dan Marino is probably Drew Brees. Dan Marino is probably better than Ben Roethlisberger. Dan Marino is probably comparable to a lot of these all-time greats. But you know what Dan has? He's got 0 in the win column. These other guys have 1. Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is top 10 in almost all of the quarterback things that matter in the history of the league. Doesn't have 1. So if Josh Allen, who has won an MVP, certainly has a chance to win more, great postseason quarterback, great regular season quarterback, been healthy, done all of these things, man, there's a wide difference in how we feel about somebody and our perception of them when you got 0 and 1. Think about Aaron Rodgers. Think about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' entire career is based off a championship that he won in 2011. If Aaron Rodgers had 0 championships, how we feel about him, how we talk about him, how relevant he would be, how he moves the needle would be drastically different. But you got a championship. There's something about that title, Super Bowl winner. It's kind of like Heisman Trophy winner. I'm sorry, when you win the Heisman, we talk about you differently. Some of Baker Mayfield's popularity is tied into the fact that he's a former Heisman Trophy winner. It makes stars. Why we talk about Kyler Murray. It is more about him winning the Heisman Trophy than it's about him being the number 1 overall pick. Same with Baker Mayfield. That's why Tebow was such a big deal when he got to the NFL. It matters. It really, really matters. So again, I'm not here to make all the excuses in the world for Josh Allen. Josh Allen is, I think it is not close. He is the 2nd best quarterback in the National Football League. But that's why I say the time and the odometer is starting to run for Josh Allen. You're in the Mahomes class. Mahomes has 3. You have 0. So there's a big gap between you and him, and everybody consider you to be rivals. And now the next generation is starting. Drake May is starting. Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, all of these other guys that you would never say they're in the same category. I mean, Drake May's 22 years old and Josh Allen's 30 years old. They're not in the same generation. They're not in the same class. So you're already getting the pressure on the front end. You got to try to keep up with Patrick Mahomes and everything that he's doing. And we're going to blink, and 3 years from now, Drake May's 25 years old. Jaden Daniels, 25 years old. We know how this thing works. Another quarterback appears. Ty Simpson ends up being a superstar. Mendoza ends up being a superstar. Somebody that we're not even talking about ends up being a superstar. And now look at you. You're in a super competitive AFC again, and now the characters have just simply changed. So if I'm Josh Allen, I'm trying to get on that winning the championship thing almost immediately. Like, you need to figure this out in the next 3 years, because next thing you know, you'll look up and you'll be 32 years old. Mahomes has 4 of these things. You still don't have one. And now you're coming in 2nd place in your division. And now you're going on the road as a 33-year-old. And now you're going to Kansas City. You're going to New England. You're going to whomever the next team's going to be in the AFC. That's not that far away from Josh Allen.
So I don't want to sound like the people in the national media who fall all over themselves to defend Josh Allen. I don't want this to come off that way. But I feel like, to the texter's point of, well, he always comes up short, he's wildly overrated, is just based on the fact that he always shakes Mahomes' hand as a loser. Because if you look at the games, he's doing nothing wrong. He's doing everything correct. He's just falling short because the infrastructure around him is let down. Like, if we look at just the Chiefs and Bills games in the playoffs, last year, I know everyone says, oh, he had the ball, a chance to go tie the game, win the game in the last drive. He 100% did. He didn't get the job done. His tight end dropped a pass that would have been one of the best passes in NFL history in the moment. His tight end dropped it. The year before that, the game's in Buffalo. It's close. It's back and forth. His kicker missed a game-tying kick. Now, if you want to tell me, hey, Mahomes with a game tie goes down and wins the game, cool. But his kicker from 40-some-odd yards, which is supposed to be automatic in the NFL, shoots it wide right. It's not Josh Allen's fault. He got into the red zone. He gave his team a chance to tie the game. Again, he loses. That's part of the narrative. The 13-second game, There is nothing in the 13-second game Josh Allen did wrong. His coach decided to squib it and give the Chiefs a heartbeat, and then the Chiefs took advantage. Like, part of this narrative that he always falls short, I think, is a little unfair. He is losing every time, but that's a testament to Mahomes' greatness. I think the reason he's losing is his infrastructure fails him more than he fails.
I'm 100% with you. I would also argue that's kind of the game, and it sounds like you agree with that. That's the game. Someone just texted in. That's the same narrative that was around Peyton Manning until he finally won. Of course. This is how we talk about sports now in 2025. Everyone will say you can't do it until you finally do it. That's just the way it goes. Everybody will say that about you. And I'm with you. Josh Allen's career, I would say some of it has been his own doing. I don't want to make it seem like it's none of them. But, for example, Eli Manning's entire career. Eli Manning played, 13 years? Eli Manning's entire career is wrapped up in 2 plays. That's how we talk about Eli Manning. Think about all the games, everything. We talk about Eli Manning for 2 plays. The David Tyree helmet catch and the Mario Manningham sideline catch. That's how we discuss them. Those 2 plays we think got him into the Hall of Fame. 1 moment, 1 play, 1 penalty, 1 drop pass, 1 catch. If your team makes it or misses it, it defines your legacy. It defines your legacy. We would talk about Dirk Nowitzki like he was Charles Barkley. You won 1 championship. Once you get to leave the room that you're in, because there's a lot of people who don't win championships. That room is super crowded. It's a lot of people that don't win championships. Man, the moment they hand you that key and you get to leave that room and you get to unlock the door for the next room, man, they got way better amenities in there. Look at the break room. Look at the spread. Look at the food they got in here. And then some people, and Patrick Mahomes is in this category, once you get from the first one, and then now you get to the second one, they give you another room, and you start to realize it's even nicer, and you got way more space. And then if you keep moving on from rooms, look at who's around you and who we start putting you in the same conversation. Once you get past 1 and 2, we start talking about you like you're Tom Brady. We were having Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady conversations when he was at 2. Tom's at 7. We've been doing this. That's the difference. And once you get there. So, yeah, I mean, there's no other way to put it. As long as Josh Allen is in the 0 conversation, he's in the same room as Phillip Rivers. He's in the same room with Dan Marino. He's in the same room with all of these other guys. Until he grabs the key and he opens up the next door, that's just how he's going to be perceived. And that's why it doesn't matter about any of these other things. History just doesn't remember context. I'm sure there's some games where Dan Marino threw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions in the postseason. We don't remember the context of that. You didn't win the championship. No one cares. No one cares, and no one goes back that Josh Allen in a playoff game against the Patriots threw for 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. No one cares. No one cares. 15 years from now, they will not talk about Josh Allen's 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions against the Chiefs in the postseason. They'll only talk about how we lost. Coming up on the other side, Binkley's going to join us in studio, getting you ready for Chiefs and Bills. That's coming up. Keep it right here. So drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Community America Credit Union. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union, invested in you. Cody and Gold are broadcasting live this Friday from Community America Credit Union's Red Friday tailgate in Blue Springs, off 70 on the outer road. Meet the Chiefs cheerleaders and KC Wolf. Grab Chiefs gear and win tickets to the Chiefs versus Colts game. Only at Community America Credit Union in Blue Springs.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Kansas side, there's a crash I-35 southbound before 18th Street with a slowdown past 169 Highway. And there are delays on the Missouri side, 70 eastbound near Kauffman Stadium. It's back to normal speeds at Sterling Avenue. I'm Kelly Rush, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rashi Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. Let me remind you guys to tune in this Sunday as the Chiefs take on the Bills right here on 96.5 The Fan. And a big thanks to our friends over at Yuengling for their support of the Salute to Service games. Yuengling, a true American lager, saluting those who have served our great country. Somebody who I know loves showing support to the troops. Somebody who also loves a good Yuengling from time to time. Yep. Jay Binkley joins us in studio. Binkley, how you doing today, my brother?
It's good on, C-Dot. Oldest brewery in America, by the way.
Can I play some audio for you, man?
Yeah. And salute the service the Chiefs did the other night. Great. Outstanding stuff.
So we have a bit that we do. It's called Spec Says.
Yeah.
It's not every day at the same time. It's not every week at the same time. But just every once in a while, we let Spec hop in the booth.
He has things to say sometimes.
For sure. 100%. So we allowed Spec to give us his Spec Says for the week. And I just want you to hear what the big boss man had to say.
All right. It's Buffalo week. It's Bills week. So I'm going to go sweet Thai chili 1, lemon pepper 2, and I'll go buffalo number 3. But that's not why you have me recording today. I would say 8 out of 10 times at the restaurant, I am going to order boneless wings over bone-in. I'm okay with bone-in wings as an appetizer, but it's not an entree. There's a lot of work involved with eating the wings. It's messy, and the amount of meat per bite is just not worth it to me. I think people say they like bone-in wings more than they do because of the setting that they're in. It's football, you're at a bar, whatever. But the actual food, if you put it in a vacuum, bone-in wings are incredibly overrated.
Wow.
What do you think, man?
I like bone-in because those are chicken nuggets. It's what they are. Football, you get the brew, bone-in wings. And you know what? They are an appetizer. I never looked at them really as an entree. I mean, that's an appetizer. For instance, you go to Smokehouse Barbecue, you get the barbecue, and you get a plate of wings, a plate of bone-in wings. Their wings are outstanding. I never had their wings there until I heard Fesco talking about them. And I was like, I go to this place to eat barbecue all the time. Let's get their wings. And I tried their wings, and they're unbelievable. But, you know, it's a nice little appetizer, the boneless wings.
This is what I said earlier.
And I don't care about the mess.
If the waitress comes around and she hands you a menu and then you take time to look over the menu when you're thinking about what you want to get and you decide that you want to get the wings and she asks you a very important question. Do you want boneless or bone-in? If you tell that woman boneless, you should be asked to leave.
Just flat out leave.
Just, hey, she should take the menu from you and she should thank you for your service and just get you on your way. All right? Just pay for whatever you got. You got a drink, whatever it is. It's time for you to leave. We're not serving you.
You got to nibble on that wing, though, and have that bone in there and just kind of plate the bones. You know, you get that stacking up that plate of bones from the wings.
Boneless wings are baby shower food. That's what it is. It's nice wedding reception food, you know? You walk up in there, they got
the not as messy.
Yeah, that's what it is. You out here eating wedding reception food. That's what I would consider it, man. I'm telling you, I would look at you. If me and you were sitting there about to watch Thursday Night Football, and we got a nice little Yuengling right in front of us, and you order the boneless wings. I don't know if I want to be seen with you anymore.
It'd be bone in.
What's your favorite flavor? Like if you're getting a nice little bone-in wing, you're at a Jefferson's. What are you getting?
The spicy version of them, the sriracha, that kind of thing. But I do like that. I do like those Cajun butter wings they got up at the Smokehouse. I am a fan of that. Or just traditional buffalo style, too. I like those.
Yeah, buffalo wings are okay. I don't love buffalo wings. Like, that's not my favorite flavor.
There's a place I go to, Al's, and they
you do
great
love,
buffalo wings.
I have tried Al's one time. I did enjoy it. I don't know if it's a
top
place
3. It's a top 3.
that I would like constantly keep going out of my way to go to. I don't like it that much, but it was good, though.
Jefferson's very good. Al's very good. Smokehouse is underrated good. How good their wings are. And, of course, Peanut's good.
Right now, we're joined in studio by our guy, Jay Binkley. This was the point that I made to Joshua Briscoe earlier when he was here.
What did Briscoe say, by the way? Did you ask him?
I don't even want to talk about it. That's why he's gone.
Oh, no.
That's why Briscoe's gone. You see, we had to get him up out of that seat. Now, you see what happened. So this is what I told him. In week 2, I picked the Eagles. The Eagles were better at the time than the Chiefs. They were better. I feel that same way in reverse about this game. I think the Chiefs are the better team. A big reason why right now is I'm playing a little bit of the schedule game with the Buffalo Bills. They have beaten up on a lot of the bad teams in the National Football League. They've played 2 teams with the pulse. The Patriots have a pulse. The Falcons have a pulse. They lost both of those games. You got to show me you can beat one of the better teams.
Well, the
in the
Falcons
National
sometimes
Football
have a pulse. That team was beaten 30-0 by the Panthers.
Fair point.
And the Colts have had that kind of schedule too. Buffalo's schedule is one of the easiest in NFL history to start this season. I do think they're better than that. I'm going to ask. I got a guy from Rochester that carries the Bills game. It's a sister station of ours, an Odyssey station out in Western New York. I'm going to ask him because he's been on every year when the Chiefs play the Bills. And I'm curious because in previous years, you might not have taken this team. But I'm curious about that. Would you take the Chiefs team, the whole team, and the coaching staff for your Buffalo Bills staff? Would you take the Chiefs team and the coaches? Because in previous years, you might not have said that. But this year, I'm kind of curious because would you take this Chiefs team over the team in Buffalo? And I would have to think he'd say yes because I agree with you 100%. It's a better team.
Yeah, I think normally it feels like a coin flip going into it. Now, the score might be reflective of a coin flip. I'm not here pretending like I think the Chiefs are going to go in there and beat them 31-10. I don't think that. But I think if we do the tail of the tape and we really go by quarterback, running back, offensive line, wide receivers, if we go do that, I don't think there's a lot of places that you would check the box for Buffalo right now. Not with the way that Kansas City is playing. Not with them holding the last 2 opponents they've played to 7 points. Not with this Chiefs defense being able to stop the run and no team being able to run on them. Not with the offense looking as complete as they've looked the last couple of weeks. I don't really see where there's a lot of just known advantages that the Bills have, where I don't think that was the case last year. I thought last year that Buffalo, certainly in the regular season, I thought they were playing a little bit better football. Maybe they might end up getting to that, but this just doesn't feel like a true coin flip to me.
No, I'm with you. And when you look at things, by the way, the Chiefs do have more penalties than the Bills. I know they had a bye week, but the Chiefs still have more penalty yards and penalties than the Buffalo Bills have. Just throwing that out there because people don't think the Chiefs ever get penalties. They do. They're 9th in the NFL. The one area I think they have the advantage is clearly running. They're number 1 running team in the NFL. They're very good at that. And they're very good at pass defense. They're number 2 in pass defense in the league. But they do average about 164 yards a game running the ball. But it doesn't scare me because Washington came in, and that's the only thing they could do. Washington was number 2 in the NFL in running the football. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is a part of that, but he didn't play. But they're still 158 yards a game. Chiefs held them to 60 yards rushing. So, yeah, I think the Chiefs will be, more slanted to stopping Josh Allen than worrying about their running game, so to speak, with a true running back situation. And I do think that matters. But the Chiefs, without Jaden Daniels, all right, why don't you stop the run? This is what they can do. They can do well. We don't care about Debo and Mariota throwing the ball. We'll let him do it. We'll stop the running game. And they did. And I think that Allen still will be an emphasis for them to stop. They have been getting much better on 4th down at 25% with teams going for 4th down on the Chiefs, which has kind of been what they do. Josh Allen taking that 4th and 3 and, turning into 4-yard gain, or taking a 4th and 2 and taking it 15 yards for a touchdown. It's what he does. I think the Chiefs will still spy him. They won't respect the passing game as much because they shouldn't. It's not as good this year. And they'll limit that running game of the Bills. I think you shut that down and you shut down the Buffalo Bills.
It's been crazy how close these games have been and how it just always feels like there's one big moment that happens in these games. Whether it was last year and the failed 4th down conversion where Buffalo tries to go for the tush push, that is a major reason of why we have the chip in the ball this season. If you think back to Travis Kelce and the lateral with Kadarius Toney being lined up off sides, like we can go through the last 5-6 games. I always feel like there's one big moment, one big play. And usually in the regular season, it feels like that play kind of goes towards the Buffalo Bills, the Josh Allen 4th down last year. And in the postseason, the Chiefs, they've made that play in every single one of these matchups in January.
Yeah, they do. And it's just funny, seeing how good. It's not funny. It's what he does. It's how Mahomes is seeing the field. And they did spotlight that on the Monday Night broadcast as far as Mahomes always looking downfield. Because they always tell quarterbacks, don't look at your feet. Don't look at the line. Look downfield. Look downfield to make a play. And that's what he's doing. Like, he's finding people. That connection with his receivers. Because remember, he had this group coming back this year, which is important. Tyquan was back here with the practice squad last year, so he was familiar with what they're doing. And obviously, Hollywood Brown in his second year with the Chiefs, I know he was injured last year, but he's still there. And obviously, Rashee Rice knows this offense inside now, as does Kelsey. But you see this, and Worthy, of course, coming back for second year. But the connection he's got with his receivers, and sometimes they don't do the right things, like Noah Gray kind of cut off his route, ran towards the inside, towards the safety. Mahomes still threw the ball, downfield where he should have gone. He should have gone straight vertical towards the end zone, 9 route straight there. But Noah didn't, he didn't have that connection with Mahomes there. Like that connection you're looking for. Mahomes still threw the football where he thought he should go, but Noah broke it off the inside. And he's kind of, this is what they do. And Devontae Adams, when he was on the Manning cast, said, I don't even know if the Chiefs have a playbook, because in a complimentary way. He was saying, because the receivers just all know where Mahomes wants them to go, and they'll look for that weakness in the defense, and they'll go to it. It's understanding what the defense is doing. Like Mahomes coming up the line, calling out cover 0 for Washington, and they had the audible out of their blitz because they were going to come. Mahomes called out their defense and what they were doing before the play even began when he walked up to the line of scrimmage. But the whole connection he's building with the receivers and something else is just something we haven't seen in the last couple of years, because he's been trying to make do with who he has. This time he's got a group of guys that understand who and what he is and what he's trying to do, and it's proving dividends.
Have you been more impressed with the Chiefs' offense or the defense over the last 3 weeks?
Well, of course I'm impressed with the offense. How can you not be with what they're doing? I mean, scoring 28 points a game all the time and, setting numbers, doing that. But this defense and what they're doing on fourth down, it continues to amaze me. Washington was 0-2 on fourth down, and I think the offense is a byproduct of the defense getting back on the field, because the Chiefs are only allowing 25% conversion rate on fourth downs. Third most in the NFL, teams have gone for it against the Chiefs. Twice in Mahomes' previous 7 years, the Chiefs have led the NFL in teams going for it on fourth down. It's the one way to beat them. You got to go for it on fourth down. You got to push it. You got to try to get that. And it's been better than a coin flip. It's been an average of 57%.
Now they're the team going for it on fourth down.
Yeah, they are. And it's good to see because of what they're doing. But instead of these teams, because now it's like a 1-in-4 chance. It's not that coin flip, 50-50. It was better than a 50% chance getting the first down against the Chiefs. And guess what's happening? Mahomes is getting back on the field, and this offense is number 2 in points per drive, and it's what they're doing. For example, you talk about offensively, they've already gone for it 15 times. Last year, only 17 times. Year before that, 20. Year before that, just 12. So they are going for it more, and they're converting an 80% pace. But to me, it's that defense, because they've shaved more than 25% off the average. The average is 57% of teams converting on fourth down. They've shaved that down to 25%. And what that means is Mahomes is back on the field, and it's good field position. There's no punt. There's no field goal try, none of that. The team is turning the ball over. It's essentially a turnover, and there goes Mahomes with basically 20 to 30 yards more to go to be in field goal range, or this year they're actually converting those to touchdowns. So I think it's a byproduct how good the offense has been, but I think a lot of it hinges on how good this defense has been on fourth down and really taking the tempo to the defense and getting that offense out there. And the offense has been incredible. I mean, it's really been incredible, but I think they're feeding off what this defense is doing. So I guess to be honest with you, I think one way or the other last 3 weeks, I have to say defense. They are number 2 scoring defense in the NFL, but the offense certainly very, very, very impressive. None of these guys are back, but I do think the defense is putting them in some good field position.
Right now, we're joined in studio by our guy Jay Binkley here, going through some of the top stories right now regarding the Kansas City Chiefs. Binkley, let's say that Isaiah Pacheco was not going to play in this game. I don't think he is going to play. Let's also say that there are 20 carries out there for the running back. So we're not counting Mahomes scrambles. We're not counting Xavier Worthy end around or Rashee Rice. There's 20 running back carries that are out there. How do you think they get divvied up on Sunday?
Is this with Elijah Mitchell playing?
If you think he's going to play.
I do. I think he's been running scout team plays. Andy Reid did address Elijah Mitchell yesterday. He did come back from a pretty serious injury when he was with San Francisco. And they kept him on this roster for a reason. They gave him more money and more guaranteed money than Kareem Hunt when he came in here. Does have that 4.32 speed ability that he had at his pro day, so he does have the speed element. I think they sprinkle him in. I think if he does play, which I do expect him to play if Pacheco doesn't play, 3 to 4 carries there. I think Brashard Smith gets to the 5 or 6 carries. I think they keep trusting him more and more, and he should, because this guy's been a dynamic player. For his size, 196 pounds or whatever, he's a very physical player for what he's doing. They definitely trust him in the pass game as well as a running back. But, yeah, I can see that, and I can see Mahomes still getting his 5 or 6 carries. And I think Kareem Hunt doubles his carries more carries, not just the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 for Kareem Hunt. I think he starts getting more part of the offense just until Pacheco's ready to go.
I do wish just a little bit. I wish they had given Brashard Smith more carries that kind of mattered throughout the course of the regular season. He has 25 carries so far. 14 of them came in that Raiders game. A lot of them just in garbage time. He just hasn't got a lot of carries in the regular flow of the offense. Now
they're still splitting him out a lot.
They use him in the passing attack, and they've thrown it to him a little bit. I do hope in this game, and one thing that could potentially slow the Chiefs' offense down is they're not running the ball great, but I think it's been effective, and I think it's been in the rhythm of what they want to do offensively. You run the ball, you run it on first down, you now turn it to a 2nd and 6. You now got a manageable down and distance to kind of get the passing game involved. They found a really good rhythm with the running game. What I don't want them to be in a position is when their offense starts to stall, they run the ball on first down, they get 2 yards, it's an incompletion, they're constantly playing from behind the sticks, long down and distances, and then usually when that happens, they get away from the run game. Kareem Hunt gets 7 carries in the game. They don't run the football, and Mahomes throws it 41 times. That's usually when their offense stalls.
Well, the one thing about this running game, which is interesting because they have been so prevalent in the passing game as far as even using the running game as extension or the passing game as extension of that running game. Believe it or not, the Chiefs are 9th in the NFL in running the football, 128 yards a game. So they're top 10 in the NFL in running the football, but it's not the traditional way.
Yeah, a lot of it's Mahomes taking off on
Mahomes
scrambles.
taking off. It's Pacheco sprinkled in, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, by the way, is just about the same efficiency rate as the tush push. Like, that's how good he's been this year. But they're still getting it done. Just like the receivers, we look at it with Kelsey just having 99 yards. We saw Hollywood Brown with 99. They don't have a receiver over 100 yards a game. They're doing it by committee with this running game, but the bottom line, at the end of the day, you're looking at it and say, well, this team's 9th in the NFL in running, so they're finding a way to manufacture those yards on the ground.
If Buffalo was able to add one player to their team that wasn't Patrick Mahomes, who do you think they would take?
Trey Hendrickson?
I mean, from the Chiefs.
Oh, from the Chiefs.
From the Chiefs, yeah.
Oh, they'd take Tyquan or Hollywood, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think they go wide receiver, too. I think they take Rashee Rice. Like, I think if you tell Buffalo...
if thinking of anybody they want, yeah, Rice, but they're not going to do that, so...
If it was the other way around, it's like right now, if the Chiefs got to take one player off the Bills roster, who do you think they would take?
Cook.
You didn't even hesitate.
No.
I might be willing to see
if
Ed
NFL's leading rusher. Why wouldn't you take him?
I might be willing to see if Ed Oliver's healthy and see if you can get a pass rusher for the second half of the season.
Fine. So Ed's not fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's not fine now. He's coming back at some point, we believe, though.
Yeah, we'll see. But, no, I definitely go with James Cook's second in the NFL. Second in the NFL in yards, only behind Jonathan Taylor. So I'd take Cook.
It's a very weird thing because, you do interviews for this, I do interviews for this, and then people ask you about the Chiefs' run defense and are you worried about James Cook? It is crazy to be in a position where they're going up against, right now, who is playing like one of the 5 best running backs in the NFL, and you just don't really feel very nervous about it. I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to hold James Cook to 31 yards rushing, but there's also not really a reason to think that he's going to run for 130 yards against Kansas City either. I'm guessing this is going to be like a normal Kansas City Chiefs run game where he has 15 carries for 61 yards. Maybe he has one decent run, but he doesn't really have one long back-breaking run that really flips the game. Like the fact that the Chiefs defense has been able for basically the last 3 seasons to make teams get away from running the football and at times make them one-dimensional is a major reason why they might have one of the best defenses in the league. Yeah,
just like when Cody Tapp tweeted out the other day, they are facing 1, 2, 3, and 4 running backs the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So the top 4 running backs in the league they're facing. Because James Cook's number 2. They face him this week. Then it's J.K. Dobbins after the bye with Denver. Then it's Jonathan Taylor, the number 1 running back in the NFL. Then on Thanksgiving, the next game, Javonte Williams of Dallas. I don't think you have to worry about Javonte as much, but Taylor, Cook, and Dobbins provide, decent running games.
In hindsight, I wish they would have gotten Javonte Williams. Like the 2 running backs now, I mean.
Well, J.K. could have been easily. They brought him in for like a visit, didn't
Agreed.
they?
I was going to say, I mean, there were 3 veteran
2
running
years
backs
ago.
that all got paid around the same. Like,
they had 2 chances.
What Javonte Williams got is what the Chiefs are paying Elijah Mitchell. What J.K. Dobbins got is what the Chiefs are paying Elijah Mitchell. Like, all 3 of those running backs signed for very similar and kind of around the same part of the season. And 2 teams they've gotten exponentially more from those guys than what the Chiefs have
Because J.K. could have been had the last 2 years when he went with the Chargers than when he went to the Broncos. So he would have kept them away from them.
And with J.K., if it was an injury concern, it makes sense. Well, then you don't sign Elijah Mitchell, who had the same injury concern coming into Kansas City.
Yeah, and J.K.'s proven to be the guy. But he might be expendable at Denver with Harvey and the way he's running the football. So we'll see what happens, what Denver does with the running. It's certainly not trading anybody to the Chiefs.
You think Josh Allen ever gets a Super Bowl?
Yeah, eventually. I mean, eventually all quarterbacks end up getting it, like the Staffords and guys like that. It might take a while. It might take 5 or 6 years.
He's at 8 right now.
I think they're going to rebuild that team again because it's going to go down, but he's still there, so we know how good teams go with their quarterback, and they're certainly – Buffalo is proven like Kansas City. They're just consistently good, and we see these Johnny-come-latelys like the Colts this year with Daniel Jones. Listen, he's often having a great year. I get that. But do you look at that team and say, this is the quarterback of the future? This guy is going to have same numbers in 2 and 3 years. Has he got to that point? I don't know yet. Everybody's believing in C.J. Stroud after his rookie year. Second year, third year, it starts coming down a bit. But we see all these Johnny-come-latelys, like the Jags. And we've seen this with the Broncos lately. We see what they do. And we've seen it with the Colts. So we see it with these teams where all of a sudden they rise up and they want to be a contender. You know, they want to face the big dogs. And they don't. And at the end of the day, it's Buffalo and Kansas City again.
Yeah, we're getting really close to the Peyton Manning time frame when we're talking about Josh Allen.
He's, 29?
Yeah, usually quarterbacks at this stage in their career, if they've been as good as Josh Allen have, they normally have one ring. Like, in the last 25 years, there's 2 examples. It's Matthew Stafford, who changed teams and got it in his 12th season, and it's Peyton Manning, who got his first ring in his 9th season. Everybody else that you can point to, when they get their first ring, it usually either happens on that rookie contract or really early in that second contract. Guys usually aren't waiting 8 to 10 years to get that first chip.
Do you realize Mahomes has only played 2 more games than Josh Allen? Because Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith that first year. Then Allen was the next year, was he drafted in 18. 2 games separate them. And you know what those 2 games are? That one game in Denver, Mahomes' rookie year, that final game of the year where he started. And then Mahomes had or Allen had the bye week. So it'll catch up to just one behind him here in a couple, next week when the Chiefs have the bye week. So it's very similar. You can make that comparison with stats, and all the passing stats, of course, are Patrick, and the rushing ones have gone to Josh. But you can make that comparison because they've essentially played the same amount of games in the NFL.
Coming up on the other side, I want to talk to you about the coaching cycle right now that's happening in college football. And, Binkley, you think we can get you out of here without our favorite segment? We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond is worthy of a Shane Company engagement ring. Our team travels the world to see diamonds in person and handpick each one. That type of dedication only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. No matter your budget, your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you'd find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This report is brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, one contractor, all things parking lot. 35 southbound at Southwest Boulevard, traffic running slower than posted speeds until about 69 Highway. On the Missouri side, 670 is slow eastbound past I-35 to Grand Avenue. The world's coming to Kansas City in 2026. Is your parking lot ready? Faded lines, potholes, unsafe sidewalks. Gann Asphalt and Concrete is your winning team. One contractor, all things parking lot. Visit GannAsphalt.com today. I'm Kelly Rush, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
All right, coming up in a bit, we're going to get to random question time with Jay Binkley. But let me remind you guys that our college football coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light and Tanner's, they are teaming up to make every college game day legendary. Every Saturday, rep your favorite college team, catch every play, and enjoy $15 buckets at Kansas area Tanner's locations, Bud Light and Tanner's. From the stands to the bar, your game day headquarters. We got Binkley in studio. Matt Rule has made the decision that he is going to stay at the University of Nebraska. There were certainly a lot of questions about it. He is an alum of Penn State University. He is friends with the AD at Penn State University. Would have made a lot of sense if that was the job he was going to take. He is deciding to be here. I know we want to talk Chiefs and Bills. We'll get to that here. I want to make one point really quickly, Binkley, and get your thoughts on it. A lot of these schools are going to end up spending a lot of money to get the exact same coach they just fired. I'm guessing once Penn State hires their next coach, James Franklin's a better coach than him.
It's a good chance of that. It's what coaches are doing. And not only that, but you're seeing coaches stay. They're kind of taking that Bob Stoops method of job opening, give me paid. Give me more money.
I think that's what Eli Drinkwitz is about to do.
Yeah, they're all doing it. Watch Lane Kiffin, stay at Ole Miss. I know that allure to LSU is big and an allure to Florida, but he's been putting some things out there about staying at Ole Miss.
This is why I think Kiffin's going to leave. I don't think you can win the national championship at Ole Miss. I think he's pretty close to what Ole Miss's ceiling is. Maybe they end up making a college football playoff. I just don't think you can win the championship there. You can win the championship at Florida. You can win it at LSU. Just resources, recruiting bases, all of those things. We've seen him hop jobs enough. I think Lane Kiffin's the one that I do think is leaving.
He might. He's been putting some stuff out there that maybe he wants to stay. I always thought he was going to leave and hit the next thing smoking. There's 11 jobs now. The Kent State took their interim tag off their coach. There was 12 available, but 11 coaching jobs out there at big universities.
Is there one you think's a sleeper job?
Oklahoma State. I think that's the right situation, the right guy that could be competitive in the Big 12 because you're seeing BYU and Cincinnati do it and these other schools. So, yeah, Oklahoma State.
I know it's not open yet. I think that job's Florida State. I think Florida State's just kind of one of those, always a sleeping giant. I still believe in traditional recruiting in the sense of, there's some places that you don't really have to leave the state to get some of the best talent. If you're the coach at LSU, you got a significant advantage. Kids grow up in Louisiana dreaming to play at LSU. If you're at USC, you just have such an advantage out there on the West Coast. I think that Florida State, Miami, and Florida are just one of those kind of places. Maybe you would argue Florida in the SEC. But I just think being in the ACC, Florida State, once that job opens up, I think Florida State's going to put themselves in a really, really good position.
Yeah, because the ACC, like the Big 12, winnable. It's much different than the SEC. You may think you're good. You may think LSU look good. And don't forget, a couple years ago, they had Jaden Daniels. They had Brian Thomas, who's actually good there in catching the football, and they had Malik Neighbors.
They always get guys. Yeah.
And they just couldn't play defense at that point. And this team this year at LSU was a pretty good team, but obviously couldn't play offense for some reason, which is shocking because Nussmeier was looked upon as being a top first-round quarterback going into the season, but they still couldn't find a way to win. But, man, the SEC will humble you quickly. Ask Oklahoma.
You know what I think is getting the LSU job? I think it's going to be Joe Brady. I think it's going to be the Bills' offensive coordinator. He was Joe Burrow's offensive coordinator when he was there. I think a big part of being the head coach of LSU, it's knowing the culture and just being well-liked. I think we're starting to learn some of the politics down there. I mean, the governor had a press conference about it and came out and said that the athletic director will not be making the hire. You got to understand how things work down there. So I think they got to hire one of their own. I think Joe Brady makes a lot of sense. He's done a great job in the NFL. He knows the lay of the land. It makes a lot of sense to me why they would go get Joe Brady. That's who I think they go get.
Yeah, I agree with that because the connection, the culture you're talking about, and a significant pay raise being the head coach at LSU.
Drinkwitz is about to put himself in there. Drinkwitz can play this thing to be in a top 5 highest paid coach in college football. He's already number 10 right now in college football.
He's going to get a raise.
And you got Florida open,
Penn
got
State
one,
Rule got one. They're going to get one.
100%. There's going to be a lot of coaches that end up getting a raise because of all of these jobs that are open, and Eli Drinkwitz is probably at the top of that list. All right, Binkley, before we get you out of here, there's really only one thing left to do.
Random question time!
We've been asking people this question. Chips Ahoy, Oreos.
I'm more of an Oreos guy, but I do like Chips Ahoy a lot, especially this combination, this collaboration they have with Reese's. The Reese's combined with the Chips Ahoy, that is spectacular. But typically, I would go Oreo. I like them both. I'm saying I like them both, but Oreo has always been a classic to me.
Do you just eat the Oreo regular, or do you kind of do the twist?
No, I just eat it regularly.
Okay. I think Oreos.
They still make the double stuff ones. Those were good.
I think Oreos too dependent on milk.
You think so?
I think it's eating an Oreo by itself just no, I don't think you can do it.
Chips are always good, but again, that collaboration with the Reese's they have, that's top notch.
I love the chewy. The one that comes in the red one, just phenomenal.
Oh, the chewy one?
Someone asked, do you like regular sunflower seeds or flavored sunflower seeds? A great question.
I like them flavored. You know, like the ranch ones. The ranch ones or the honey or whatever, and you carry those around. But, yeah, I like the flavored sunflower seeds.
I normally get the barbecue sunflower
Barbecue's
seeds.
good.
Or they have the cracked pepper. Do you ever get the cracked pepper
I've got those before, too. I go to those ranch. With the ranch are there, get the ranch.
I am a believer that everybody has like a road trip snack. Mine are Twizzlers, sunflower seeds, and Powerade. If you give me that, I can drive for as long as you need me to drive.
Twizzlers or Red Vines? Or
Twizzlers.
The Wallabies?
Twizzlers.
Okay. I'm a licorice guy, too. So licorice on road trips, beef jerky for sure. In a nice, cool can of Copenhagen.
Yeah, I don't ever get the beef jerky. I don't mind beef jerky. It's just one of them things like I'm about to spend $9 on this.
It's expensive, but beef jerky is a great road trip snack.
I'm thinking about buying a house. What advice would you have for me?
Man, car, then the house. Things are going well for you, Carrington.
I gotta be an adult.
I think it's a great investment to do because it turns into an investment. Do what you can in there. I'd get something, maybe try to fix it up a little bit here and there, get more return on your investment. I don't know if you want to get something ready-made right now. Just put your own taste to it in the house.
I was joking with Rob about this. No one that owns a home makes owning a home seem like it's a very, very fun thing. I went to sit down with the lender a couple days ago. We were just kind of going over stuff.
Awesome.
And I did like the pre-approval process and stuff. And she was walking me through all the fees that you have to pay. And I was like, wait, people do this? Like this? No part of this. Now, looking at the houses and searching on Zillow and online, that's been fun. Nothing else associated with this has been a fun experience.
But then you have all the things you're not counting on. Like the washing machine's not working. You can't just call somebody for that. You got to pay for that. You got to call somebody still, but you got to pay for that. Snow removal, those kind of things. I mean, yeah, stuff starts adding up when you get into home ownership.
Someone asked a great question. Bink, when was the last time that you carved a pumpkin?
When my kids were small. So I did partake in that when they were about 10 years ago.
What was the better time in college? Was it Halloween or was it St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patrick's Day, for sure.
Now, my school was Halloween. Halloween was the biggest weekend when I was in school.
Yeah, people got into it. I think I never did. Obviously, I have my takes on Halloween and costumes and things like that. Not a huge fan of that. So
you're not a huge Halloween costume fan?
No, I'm just not. It's just all the Twitter pictures, the people trying to be Travis and Taylor or whatever. And it's a kids' holiday, man, but adults are making it about themselves. They are. The adults are making it about themselves. They're going to these adult Halloween parties.
Good. I love it.
What about the kids? They don't even trick or treat anymore. They just go trunk or treats or things like that. It's like, why even buy the candy?
I want to say that the opinion expressed right there by Jay Binkley, that's a you. You know what I want? I want more people to continue to post pictures on Halloween. I love Halloween.
No, man.
I love Halloween.
Especially the NFL
you wanna know why?
and the NBA and all these guys showing up their costumes.
You want to know why? Because you're not on
man.
Instagram. That's your problem. You need to get on Instagram. You get on Instagram, you'll start to really appreciate it, too.
But St. Patrick's Day is fun because it's an all-day deal. It's an all-day drinking experience. But not that Halloween isn't. But.
Give me a candy you love and a candy you hate.
Love Snickers.
Okay. Hate Tom Brady of candy.
Hate anything with Coke in it, like an Almond Joy, something like that. Anything with Coke in it, I don't like it. But Snickers, especially frozen. When you freeze the Snickers, you kidding me?
Binkley, you're a good man. That is our guy, Jay Binkley, joining us in studio. Coming up on the other side, we'll continue to get you ready for Chiefs and Bills. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This report is brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, one contractor, all things parking lot. 35 southbound at Southwest Boulevard, traffic running slower than posted speeds until about 69 Highway. On the Missouri side, 670 is slow eastbound past I-35 to Grand Avenue. The world's coming to Kansas City in 2026. Is your parking lot ready? Faded lines, potholes, unsafe sidewalks, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is your winning team. One contractor, all things parking lot. Visit GannAsphalt.com today. I'm Kelly Rush, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Ready, set, Ford. That's what Shawnee Mission Ford is all about, bringing meaning to Ready, Set, Ford. Hey, it's Gold. You know I've been driving a new vehicle thanks to my friends over at Shawnee Mission Ford for over a month now, and they offer their customers the largest discounts on every new vehicle, along with aggressive rebates and top trade-in value. And maybe you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle. You're in luck as well, with over 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose from at prices and terms well within any budget. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more.
This is Danon Hughes. In Kansas City football, we honor tradition, but we always look forward to what's next. That's why I'm all in for Flight by Yingling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, clean, and full of flavor, just the way a light beer should be. It's got the legacy and the stats to back it up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. DG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Hi, we're your friends who get super excited about the holidays.
We sure are, or this isn't the ugliest holiday sweater ever.
People think we're happy because we love peppermint lattes.
Or catching snowflakes on our tongues.
But really, it's because
it's Holiday Millionaire Raffle Season!
It's your best odds to win $1 million.
That's dollars, not twinkling lights, but that would be great too.
Play the Kansas Lottery Holiday Millionaire Raffle. Get excited!
See kslottery.com for details.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Everyone develops cataracts naturally as they get older. When your vision is affected by cataracts, you should see my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein at Silverstein Eye Centers. Dr. Silverstein is a world-renowned cataract surgeon who performs life-changing laser-assisted cataract surgery with premium lens implants to correct your vision up close and far away. Trust my eye doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein, Silverstein Eye Centers, 816-358-3600 to schedule an appointment.
Brought to you by Gomers. 5 locations in the KC Metro or online at gomers.com.
Want to know something scary good? Gomers is scary good. They've been voted the #1 KC liquor shop since the beginning of voting for KC liquor stores. Really, Gomers Fine Wines and Liquors. 5 locations and family owned since 1969.
This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Coming up in about 30 minutes or so, we are going to head to Buffalo to be joined by Steve Tasker. He is their color commentator. He is in their Hall of Fame. He is also on a show called One Bills Live. Very happy to catch up with Steve Tasker. I feel like, Rob, at least once a year, we have Steve Tasker and Jeremy White on the show. You know, the Chiefs, they play the Bills every single year. And if we're going to Buffalo, then those are the two people that we need to talk to. So this is how I would like to begin the 5 o'clock hour before we get to the hits. I believe that Josh Allen is pretty clearly the second best quarterback in the National Football League. I remember making this comparison whenever Josh Allen really started to ascend in his third year and really started to take shape. I think Josh Allen is a better version of Cam Newton. Like, if you think about how he plays, his style, I think he's a more refined, better passing version of Cam Newton. I think he is incredible. But he is reaching a very unique part in his career. I call it the LeBron zone. LeBron reached a point in his career where his individual accolades and individual game statistics didn't matter anymore. LeBron could have a triple-double in his next 7 regular season games. It will not move anybody. LeBron has reached the point where, did you win NBA MVP? Because if LeBron won MVP at his age, it would be a really, really big deal. If we thought he was the best player in the league at over 40 years old, never happened before. If LeBron went to another championship, if LeBron won another championship, and now he's sitting there with 5, we'd have very different conversations about LeBron. But if he's not doing any one of those 3 things, then everybody at this point has formed their opinion and reached their own conclusion on who they think LeBron is. That's kind of where Josh Allen is. Josh Allen could go out there on Sunday and throw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, run for another one, and take over the MVP race, and the Bills could win this game 31-21, largely because of who their quarterback is. You guys will not feel any different about Josh Allen. We all acknowledge that he's good because at this point, he has checked almost every single box that's left in his career except one. He's a superstar quarterback. He's won MVP. He's been on the cover of Madden. He dates an international superstar. Josh Allen is one of the most popular and most beloved athletes in American sports. He has absolutely no championship accolades or no championship pedigree. And in American sports, that's all we really care about. How many rings you got? That defines you. And what is different for Josh Allen, I think in comparison to Patrick Mahomes, is Mahomes answered this question pretty early on in his career. Patrick went to the AFC Championship game his first season as a starter, went toe-to-toe against Tom Brady, came as close to beating Tom Brady as you possibly could be without actually beating him, thanks to D Ford. And then the next season, he went out there and then won the championship. I mean, there wasn't a lot of time to doubt Patrick Mahomes because things happen really fast, really quick. So a lot of the hurdles that you have to jump over if you're one of those superstars, Mahomes just jumped over it really quickly. I mean, it took Mike, for as great as Michael Jordan is, Michael Jordan didn't instantly step in the league and win championships. No, he bumped his head. I mean, you lost to the Boston Celtics. You lost to the Detroit Pistons. You needed to add this player, do this thing, and do this thing, and then eventually you won a championship. That's the stage of his career that Josh Allen's in. This is the Kevin Durant. This is the Steph Curry. This is the LeBron James. Plenty of athletes. Giannis, you can name them up and down the line. This is where you are. Josh Allen is starting to run into this problem. He's in the Patrick Mahomes generation, but he doesn't have a championship yet. And the new generation, the younger crop of quarterback, is already in the league and starting to find early success. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like Josh Allen's old. He's not old, but he's not Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is 22 years old. He's not Drake May. Bo Nix is a little bit different. I know he's a little bit older quarterback, but I mean, Bo Nix is 25 years old. That's different than turning 30 at the end of the year, and that's where Josh Allen is. So he is in this very unique conversation where he's no longer one of the young guys. He's not one of the old guys yet, but he's just stuck in the middle where he doesn't have a championship. I only bring that up because usually at this stage in your career, you've already won a chip or you're real close to winning one. The only guys that we are talking about in the last 25, 30, 35 years that at this stage in their career they didn't have one yet, we're talking about Brett Favre. Like, we're talking about John Elway. We're talking about Peyton Manning. We're talking about Matthew Stafford. Like, that's kind of where we are with Josh Allen. This is year 8 for him. This is not early anymore. This is not his rookie contract. No, you've played out your rookie contract. You're in the middle of your second contract. You are for sure going to get a third contract from the Buffalo Bills. You have 2 AFC championship appearances. You have 0 Super Bowl appearances. You have 0 Super Bowl rings. Where's the stuff that you're supposed to have when you're one of these guys? Usually, if you're Josh Allen, you get one by now. Aaron Rodgers got one kind of early on in his career. Drew Brees already had one at this point in his career. Russell Wilson got one. Ben Roethlisberger, like Joe Flacco, got one by year 5. Eli Manning got one by year 5. Josh doesn't have any of those things yet. So I think right now the biggest storyline in the NFL, if we're talking big picture, not a micro, not this week, big picture is, when does Josh eventually beat Patrick Mahomes? I don't know if that's in 2025. I don't know if that's in 2027. I don't know if the answer is never. I mean, that's a possibility. The possibility could be never. Patrick Ewing never beat Michael Jordan. Reggie Miller never beat Michael Jordan. It's not a guarantee that eventually, if you keep trying and keep trying, Gonzaga still hasn't won the national championship. Oregon still hasn't won the national championship. They've been good for 20 years. They still haven't won the championship. So I do think that sometimes we talk about these great superstars like eventually it's going to happen. It's a foregone conclusion, even though history is littered with guys that got really close, were really good for a long time, but just were unable to take that next step in their career. And I think right now the big storyline in the NFL is to try to figure out if Josh Allen is going to eventually take that next step in his career. Let me play for you guys what Jim Nantz had to say. Jim Nantz went on, friend of the show, Adam Shine. So let me find this for you. Here it goes. I found it. Here is Jim Nantz. He was on Sirius XM Channel 82. Here he is talking about the rivalry.
They need one another. If you look at great rivalries in sport, you know, Magic needed Bird. Jack and Arnie needed one another. Mm-hmm. You know, Brady needed Manning and Peyton needed Tom. It goes with the territory. They bring out the best in one another. And you said something at the start of that question about, you know, people sometimes lament, poor Josh, he can't get it done in the postseason. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's played brilliantly in those games. Those have been really epic matchups. The one back in the 22 divisional round, which was the 42-36 overtime game, is probably the best game I've ever seen. And, you know, last year was a nail biter. And again, it came down, high-scoring affair. It came down to a field goal margin in a win for Kansas City. But I just think the two are going to be linked well beyond their playing years. It will, you know, always will be part of the story and part of the legacy for each one of them will be the fact that they tangled against the other.
This is where I disagree with Jim Nantz just a little bit before we get to hit number one. I don't think the two maybe need each other in that context, but I understand the point that he's making. I think the NFL needs this story because we are a people that need storylines. It's good versus evil. It's why superhero movies are so popular. Like, we need stories. We need characters. That's what drives your interest in something. The storyline is a tale as old as sports time. You have on one side of it, the people's champion won everything. Patrick Mahomes has won every possible thing that you can win playing football at this point in his career, his professional career. He's won everything that you could possibly win. He's the golden child. He has 3 championships. They've been there 5 times. He has multiple MVPs. He's been on the cover of Madden multiple times. He has everything that you can possibly have. And in the midst of you gobbling up all of these things, you have directly affected Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and all of these other quarterbacks, and the feeling that eventually these other guys break through. So every season, one of the big storylines is this finally the year for Lamar Jackson? Is this finally the year for Josh Allen? And if you're Josh Allen, and if you're looking right now at the AFC, man, now's as good a time as ever. You got the Chiefs, and you're always going to have to deal with them, but Baltimore is not the team we thought they were going to be. Cincinnati is not the team we thought they were going to be. So we talk about this big four. We spent all summer talking about the big four. 2 of them ain't playing. And Lamar's just getting back for Thursday Night Football. Drake May's in his second year in the National Football League. Trevor Lawrence didn't turn out to be the quarterback that we thought he was going to be. C.J. Stroud was everybody's flavor of the month. Houston stinks this year. Now's as good of a time of any if you're going to now try to strike in the AFC. Who are you worried about outside of Patrick Mahomes? Daniel Jones? Bo Nix? Justin Herbert? Guys who also were in the same category as you that didn't win anything. I've said this before. If Buffalo doesn't win this year or Buffalo doesn't get the 1 seed and they don't control things, it will be one of the biggest missed opportunities in the last decade. Everything has come together for Buffalo this season. Look at their schedule. Everything has come together for them. It's the perfect storybook ending. This is the second time they've changed the rules for the Buffalo Bills. This is the last year in their stadium. Look at the schedule and the way that it's broken together. This Bills team, they have played every important game at home. They played Baltimore at home. They played Kansas City at home, Tampa Bay at home. I know Cincinnati, it didn't work out for them. They would have had the Bengals at home, and they played Philadelphia at home. Like, I can go through their road games with you. I mean, what are we doing here? This was a schedule that was designed for you to go 13-4. This was a schedule that was designed for you to be the 1 seed. This was supposed to be the year. And if you let New England beat you, and if you let Kansas City beat you, you will never, ever, you will never live down the missed opportunities. One of the things that we always do in sports is we think you get 15 chances. Oh, he'll be around for a decade. Man, we watch too much sports. That ain't how it goes. Sometimes you only get one, and when you got your one chance to win it, you better win it. Aaron Rodgers, he had his chance. In 2011, he won it. Drew Brees, he won his one. He's never been back since then. Rodgers, never been back since then. Joe Flacco, never been back since then. Sometimes you don't get 3 or 4 chances to be a champion. Sometimes you get 1 or 2. This was one of those times for Josh Allen, and we'll see if the Bills can cash in, and we'll see if they can win a chip. Rob, let's get to the hits.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with C-Dot and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
I just want to read this text really quickly. Someone says, C-Dot, I think that Josh Allen's like Elway. He'll eventually get one. Maybe. I mean, at this point, now with all of these guys about to hit 30 years old, I don't see a world in which we think Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow are all winning a championship. Somebody leaving their career without having one. Everybody ain't winning a chip. Maybe 3 years ago we could have had that opinion. Josh Allen's about to be 30 years old. Lamar Jackson's dealing with injuries. Joe Burrow once again has a significant injury. Somebody is leaving this generation with no championships. And then 10 years from now, Rob, when you and I are still arguing about Chips Ahoy cookies, there's going to be some young hotshot quarterback from Florida, and you know who we're going to call him? The next Joe Burrow. The same way that we call Justin Herbert the next Phillip Rivers. And it just becomes a cycle. So I don't know if Josh Allen's 100% getting one. I mean, I think he is going to get one, but history is littered with athletes that we thought eventually would win a championship and didn't end up getting one. Josh Allen will just be the latest.
Number 2.
Kansas Always Hits are brought to you by Baker University, the first university in Kansas and ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in Kansas. Baker University, forever in our orange era. Carrington, these two...
Hey, is that what Kansas just played basketball a couple days ago when y'all just beat up on somebody?
No, they played Fort Hays State.
Fort Hays State, okay. I was just wondering. Shout out to Baker. I wasn't sure. I just know KU, they was playing some team. They held them to like 31 points. I mean, Darren Peterson basically said, hey, look at my NIL contract. Come on now, I'm not playing in this game. Is that what happened? Because he wasn't hurt. He's not injured or anything.
I think he was battling cramps, is what I was told.
You know what happened? Darren Peterson went up to Bill Self and said, it's not in my NIL contract to play in this game. I ain't playing in this game. Wake me up when you guys play North Carolina. That's next Friday, right? They play North Carolina next week.
Yeah, it's a week from tomorrow. Tomorrow, K-State basketball has their exhibition game against a school I've never heard of.
Who they got coming up?
Newman.
Oh, that's in Kansas, right?
I mean, they're all in Kansas.
I think Newman's like the Newman Jets or something.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Who's Mizzou got in this little topsy-turvy exhibition world?
I don't know, probably Duke, because you know we only schedule top notch for sure.
You scheduled K-State for one of your exhibition
100%,
games.
yeah, real competition. While you guys are scheduling Fort Hays State, we're challenging ourselves against Kansas State.
They played Louisville, a top 15 team on the road.
I don't remember that.
Mizzou played in front of dozens of fans against K-State, which is a bubble team.
I don't remember that.
Anywho,
dozens of fans is great.
It was 9 o'clock. Actually, it's not making fun of Mizzou fans. The school did them dirty. 9 p.m. for a basketball game on a Friday night? No chance that was well attended.
Dozens.
None. There are more people listening to this segment than there were at that game.
For sure.
Speaking of the Kansas City Chiefs, Carrington, these two teams, them and the Bills, are forever linked in the NFL draft because not just Keon Coleman versus Xavier Worthy, which we feel like we know the results of, but also Kaiir Elam and Trent McDuffie. How is it, if you were a Bills fan, you got to feel an extra level of saltiness because the Chiefs continue to get the best of you in the NFL draft?
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good point that you make, that these two organizations are linked in so many different ways. Who had the 10th overall pick that the Chiefs used to go get Patrick Mahomes? The Buffalo Bills had that pick. Now, it ended up working out. The next year, the Bills get Josh Allen. But, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is better than Josh Allen. Just very important to note that the selection that the Chiefs actually used for Patrick Mahomes was Buffalo's. To what you just said, it was clear 2 drafts ago that the Chiefs desperately needed a wide receiver. Everybody knew they needed a wide receiver. Patrick Mahomes, he probably said, I'm not restructuring my contract this offseason if you guys don't spend a first-round pick to go get me a wide receiver. How did the Chiefs get Xavier Worthy? Buffalo had a choice. Buffalo had an opportunity to get Xavier Worthy. They then gave him to Kansas City, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Just take Keon Coleman right there. If you feel that strongly about it, just take Keon Coleman there. Why would you make a trade with Kansas City? Why would you give them a speedster at the position of need for them? It made no sense when they were there. And also important to note, the year that the Chiefs had the Tyreek Hill draft pick, they had the extra first-round pick. They ended up using that pick on Trent McDuffie. I thought it was pretty clear that the Chiefs moved up to go get somebody. They then moved up to go get Trent McDuffie. I think we then found out later that Buffalo was also very interested in Trent McDuffie, and they just got beat to the punch by Kansas City. Sometimes there's a group of individuals or a person that's just better than you. And at least over the last half decade or so, the Chiefs, they have just been better than the Bills at everything. They've been better at quarterback. They've been better at head coach. They've been better at the draft. They've been better at tailgating. They've been better at everything. The only thing that Buffalo has been better at than Kansas City over the last half decade is getting public funding for a stadium. That's the only thing they have done better than the Kansas City Chiefs over this time frame. There's not a single thing you can point to in which Buffalo has been superior. That's why one team has been to 5 Super Bowls, and that's why the other team is still watching Super Bowl highlights from 1994 and thinking, what if?
I think it's also really interesting to note with these two teams being connected. I think that adds a little fuel to the rivalry. Because we talked about it, and you said it yesterday in the show, and I think it's a great point, that this is the best rivalry in professional sports right now, period. And I agree with you on that. It's the best rivalry in professional sports. I think one of the reasons it's so good is all the on-the-field stuff. I also think, in your heroes and villains, which is what makes rivalries, the Bills have to feel like the Chiefs just keep getting over on them over and over and over again. You're right, Mahomes, I forgot about that draft pick, although it comes out not in the wash, but they get Josh Allen. But it feels like they're beating us on the field in the biggest games of the year. They're playing it on their field in the biggest games of the year. And then when we're in the war room, we're getting beat again. I think that's one of the things that makes this rivalry so fun is if you're a Bills fan, one of the reasons you hate the Chiefs is not just they beat you. They beat you in November, they beat you in February, and then you get beat again in May. And that adds another element, another little sprinkling of seasoning to this rivalry.
Sometimes the other guy is just better than you. Peyton Manning is phenomenal. Peyton Manning is one of the 5 best quarterbacks that we have ever seen. National spokesperson, great college player, won 2 championships, football royalty. Who doesn't love the Manning family? The Manning family has been in our lives for 50 years, dating back to Archie. His brother won 2 championships. His son was their grandson, nephew was the highly anticipated. Everybody loves the Mannings. Even Peyton Manning can look at somebody and say, I don't know, man, that guy was just better than me. Yeah, Tom was better than you. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, Tom was better than you are. When history ends, we will remember Tom Brady more than we will remember you. That's Josh Allen. Josh Allen is amazing. He really is amazing. There is just a person that's just been better than he is, and that person's been Patrick Mahomes. I want to play this, and this can be the unofficial third hit that we'll talk about. Now, I'm not saying that this team is going on a championship run, but I don't know, man. The Ravens are getting right. The Ravens are getting healthy. Maybe the Ravens got a little bit of juice left.
Bottom line is, win the division. They still can. And you asked me before, Chris, who am I taking tonight? I'm taking the Ravens. And I'm taking the Ravens. I don't know. The next time I might not take the Ravens unless they're significantly hurt. The only time I might not take the Ravens, and if they go on such a heater, maybe I consider it week 16 against the Patriots at home.
If you want to look at the Ravens schedule for the next, let's say, 2 months or so, they play Thursday night football tonight against the Dolphins. They go on the road and play Minnesota, on the road to play Cleveland. So they got 3 straight road games. If we're going to start having a serious conversation about the Ravens again, you got to win all 3 of these games. You're better than all 3 of these teams. They're certainly better than the Dolphins. They feel like they could fire their head coach at the end of the day. The Vikings right now, what is J.J. McCarthy? We're a year and a half into this thing, and J.J. McCarthy has like 3 starts in his NFL career. I don't know what to tell you about J.J. McCarthy. Cleveland, what are we doing here? Dylan Gabriel's a bottom 3 quarterback right now in the National Football League. They got the Jets. They got the Bengals. If the Ravens are going to get themselves back in it and get right and get healthy and go on a little bit of a heater here, man, it needs to start tonight. You got your quarterback back. You just came off a bye week. Man, it's time to get going if you are the Baltimore Ravens, and we'll see if they can do it. I just gave you the stretch. If the Ravens can't win these 3 games, there's no reason to have another conversation about the Ravens. If you lose on the road to the Vikings after you started 2-5, you're done. You're cooked. In the AFC, there's no reason to talk about you. Go ahead and get ready for the NFL draft. So we'll see how Thursday night football plays itself out. We got Ravens and Dolphins, which feels like a Netflix night to me. That's what it feels like. You know what it feels like? You should be watching Chad Powers on Hulu. You should be watching that Allen Iverson documentary, because Ravens and Dolphins, this just feels like, you know what? I'll just let my phone give me the notifications, and I'll let my phone tell me who ended up winning that game. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by Steve Tasker, color commentator, covers the Bills. That's coming up next. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments. Through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Get ready, Missouri. Kickoff is near. The world's largest sports book is coming to your fingertips. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. With high and transparent app limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Start betting like a pro in Missouri on December 1st. Learn about your new bookie today at circasports.com. The world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports launches December 1st.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Paid for by term provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit bigloo.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This report is brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. On the Missouri side, there's a multi-vehicle crash 70 eastbound at Van Brunt. The backup is 3 miles long, allow 10 minutes. And on the Kansas side, a crash on 435 eastbound past Null is causing a backup to 69 Highway. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. They've been in business since 2012, offering residential service and project work, light commercial, and router service. Visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule. I'm Kelly Rush, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
Welcome back into the show. Earlier today, we got a chance to be joined by Steve Tasker. He is in the Bills Hall of Fame. He is one of the best special teams players in the history of the National Football League. He is the color commentator for the Buffalo Bills, and he is on One Bills Live. We talked to him about the running game right now for the Bills. James Cook, he has the second most rushing yards of any player in the league behind Jonathan Taylor. We talked about how great he has looked since the Bills decided to go ahead and cut the check.
Yeah, he has been a huge part of the success that they've had. Their willingness to hand it off to him, their ability, and certainly in some games when they're up double digits, they're going to hand it off more anyway. So he's gotten more looks at it, and I think his production has allowed the Bills not to lean on Josh. It's been one more reason they haven't had to lean on Josh. Both he and Josh Allen didn't even play the fourth quarter against Carolina, and it's a good lesson for NFL people who watch the NFL. The Bills had this toss play against Carolina, and Carolina could not adjust to it, and the Bills just ran it into the ground. They had 10 times in the first half, and Carolina had no answers. At one point, James Cook had 8 rushes for 80 yards in that game. So the Bills, if they can find different ways to beat you, they will. And we have really yet to see the passing game of the Bills, with the exception of opening night of the season on Sunday Night Football when they came from 15 points down in the second half of the fourth quarter against Baltimore. You really haven't had to lean on Josh Allen in the passing game at all. And people are starting to worry that it might not be there when they want it. We'll see probably for sure this week against Kansas City because you have to be firing on all cylinders to beat the Chiefs.
Right now, we're talking to the Bills Hall of Famer, Steve Tasker. You can also catch him on One Bills Live, getting you ready for one of the biggest games of the NFL regular season between the Chiefs and the Bills. These two teams are linked in a lot of different ways. One way they're linked is at wide receiver. The Bills traded the pick that the Chiefs used to go get Xavier Worthy. They go pick up Keon Coleman. The Bills do. I want to get your thoughts on the Bills wide receiver room because the wide receiver room for Kansas City is really starting to take shape. They got back Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, as I just mentioned, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton, Hollywood Brown. There's a full complement of weapons right now for Patrick Mahomes, and that's how the offense has really turned the corner over the last month or so. Where is Buffalo offensively in the passing game right now with their MVP quarterback and his weapons?
Yeah, I think when they came into this season, they really felt good about their wide receiver room because it was such a talent upgrade over a year ago where they made it to the conference championship. And, they did trade for Amari Cooper mid-season last year, but they felt with the guys they got in with Josh Palmer and Elijah Moore, they felt like they upgraded the people behind Khalil Shakir and the tight end Dalton Kincaid. Keon Coleman with a year under his belt, they felt like they would take a step forward. Because of injuries and Kincaid being in and out of the lineup, Joshua Palmer being in and out of the lineup, Elijah Moore being in and out of the lineup, they really never hit their stride. And Keon Coleman has yet to be really productive in a game. That's been a little bit of a disappointment, has Keon Coleman. But I think they still feel good about the room if they're healthy. Now, we have yet to see that, and perhaps it'll be a little healthier this week, although Joshua Palmer's still not practicing. Yeah, they're going to have their work cut out for them this week in particular because, you're going to have to score in the mid to high 30s to beat the Chiefs. And right now, the Bills, while they're scoring in the high 20s and low 30s almost every week, it hasn't looked easy or as easy as it has in the past. I think they feel good about their guys in the wide receiver room if they're healthy. But as of this point in the NFL season, they have not been.
Let's move over to the defensive side. I know that Ed Oliver is dealing with an injury, so he's not going to be there. That feels very critical in a matchup where you're going to have to win with your front four. You have to get pressure against Kansas City. How do you think the Bills' defense lines up with Kansas City's offense right now that is as hot as they've been in 3-4 seasons?
Yeah, I don't know if any defense in the league lines up with Kansas City's offense right now. You kind of got to hope, make them go the long way, the 12 and 15 play drives, which they do really well. I mean, they're as good as anybody doing that as well. But it gives you more chances to either get a tip pass on a third down or, that kind of thing. Have them make a mistake on the way to the end zone. So that's really the way that you've got to play this team, I think, the Kansas City Chiefs defensively. They got a little boost from Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi, as I mentioned. Maxwell Harrison will probably get a few more snaps this week. They're trying to get a little bit more athletic in the back end of their defense. Cole Bishop is now on the starting lineup. They put Maxwell Harrison in at corner, and they've got Christian Benford. So they feel a little better about their athleticism out there. But, the Chiefs go so deep at wide receiver, it's really hard for any defense to match up, let alone the Bills. So we'll see if Michael Hoyt, Ogunjobi, Greg Rousseau, A.J. Epinesa can get some pressure on Mahomes, keep him in the pocket. But, you just try and get what you can get. And I think the key to playing the Chiefs, and I think for this Bills team in the past, the key has been making plays. It hasn't been like stopping their run completely or getting them off the field on third down. It's about finding an opportunity, tipping a pass for an interception, getting a turnover, and that's been the way to get on top of the Chiefs. If you don't make a play or multiple plays against the Chiefs, they're just too good to beat. So that's really the key for Buffalo. If you get a guy like Matt Milano out there who has some instincts like that, Christian Benford, those kind of guys, Terrell Bernard, you get some guys with some instincts who can make some plays, then you've got a chance against them. But I think that's the key for the Bills defensively. It has been in the past in their victories.
We talk a lot about this game and keys to the game and who's going to step up and who's going to make this play. It seems like these games have really been defined by moments. You think to a couple of years ago, Travis Kelce makes the lateral to Kadarius Toney, but he's lined up off sides. Josh Allen last year on the fourth down in the regular season game, the failed tush push in the AFC Championship game. These two teams are about as close as I think two teams can be, and usually it comes down to who can capitalize on that moment, who can make the big play, and that ultimately decides who wins these matchups.
Absolutely. We were talking in our office about the series. They played 9 times, and they're 5-4. I think the Chiefs are 5, and the Bills have won 4, or whatever. And this is a matchup that has been going on for 5 or 6 years, and the Chiefs have scored 243 points in the matchup, and the Bills have scored 242. That's how close this has been. So that's why, everybody's looking forward to this game. You kind of hope that it's, that the Bills can hold in. The Chiefs are playing so well right now. It's hard to, and there's a reason why they're favored on the road in Buffalo. It's even though Buffalo's a tough place to play, they are playing so well. And Buffalo's got some question marks, not only with their roster, but also with their production and who's going to carry the load offensively. So, and their defense has not played, like a top-notch defense. So it's one of those games where it looks like this may be a time when the Chiefs can come in and have their way with Buffalo. But even so, it's going to be one of those games you got to watch.
Steve, last couple of questions here. First one is, how are you feeling about the division? The Bills, very similar to Kansas City, have dominated their division for the last handful of years, but it seems like Kansas City has real threats, Denver, Los Angeles. It feels like Buffalo has a very similar threat in their division as well with New England beating them earlier this year.
Yeah, New England's playing extremely well. Drake May is playing great football. The Bills were -2 in the turnover margin the first time they played, and they had 11 penalties, I believe, as well. Just did not play well against the Patriots, and they got them on the last walk-off field goal. That's how you win in a division game, right? So the Bills know they're chasing the Patriots. They feel like they can beat anybody when they play their game, but they didn't. So it's going to be a race down to the wire. Those two teams meet late in the season. I believe it's in week number 15 they meet. And so the division's going to be up in the air until then, because it doesn't look like New England's going anywhere. They've got a 4th place schedule because of their record last year. And, so they're not going to hit too many bumps in the road on their way down the stretch until they meet Buffalo in week 15.
That was Steve Tasker joining us on the show. He is the Bills color commentator. He is with One Bills Live, getting you ready for Chiefs and Bills coming up on Sunday. Keep it right here. You're listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
Out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes! Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect, our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Today, I'm here to tell you about an exciting offer for the remainder of the month. While supplies last, Victory is offering 3 ways to save on all remaining 2025 Ram half-tons, the winner of the coveted Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Here's how it works. You get to pick from 3 great offers like $5,000 off and 0% for 72 months on all remaining 2025 Ram 1500s, or $11,000 off and 3.9% for 72 months, or an astonishing $16,000 off with standard financing. Folks, it's no secret, it's been the same for years. The best time to buy a new pickup truck is during the model year-end closeout. Business owners, come see us today and ask about additional year-end savings from Ram exclusively for you. Supplies are dwindling fast, so hurry in and take advantage of this offer. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by term provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit biglou.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
Brought to you by Gomer's. 5 locations in the KC Metro or online at gomers.com.
Want to know something scary good? Gomer's is scary good. They've been voted the #1 KC liquor shop since the beginning of voting for KC liquor stores. Really, Gomer's Fine Wines and Liquors. 5 locations and family owned since 1969.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Traffic is brought to you by Gann Asphalt and Concrete, one contractor, all things parking lot. 35 southbound, still slow, starting at the state line down to 69 Highway because of a wreck. And on the Missouri side, I-70 eastbound at Van Brunt, the right lane is closed due to a multi-car accident. The backup goes to Prospect. The world's coming to Kansas City in 2026. Is your parking lot ready? Faded lines, potholes, unsafe sidewalks. Gann Asphalt and Concrete is your winning team. One contractor, all things parking lot. Visit GannAsphalt.com. I'm Kelly Rush, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, before we get out of here, we got a couple of things that we need to do. Our Thursday night two-leg parlay is brought to you by Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. Coming soon to Missouri with Circa Sports. Lamar is back. They're playing a bad team. I am going to take a Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown in this one. This just feels like a Lamar scores. We spend all Friday telling you that the Ravens are back and watch out for them in the division. You can see this storyline coming a mile away. I also would place a small wager on Mike McDaniel is not going to make it through the weekend. So go ahead and give me a Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown as part of our parlay.
I will take the second leg of the parlay, and I think we're going to see some points tonight, Carrington. The Ravens' defense is bad. The Dolphins' defense is bad.
The Ravens' defense is getting a little bit better. They're turning things around.
It's been salty of late, but it's not good by any means. So I like the over tonight at 51.5. You play the over with the Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown over on our friends at FanDuel, and it's plus 308. So, don't watch the game, but watch your gambling app and see if you are successful or not.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in watching this Thursday night football game. To be completely honest, none. I feel like we got a night off in sports. We got a meaningless Thursday night football game and no baseball, no World Series tonight. We're getting back tomorrow with Toronto with the chance to win the series. Yeah, I don't plan on watching much of this Thursday night football game. I'm all right.
Tonight is a good night to catch up on shows that you haven't been watching because of the sports calendar.
Yeah, I plan on yesterday after the World Series was over. I wasn't really tired, so I started to watch The Long Walk. I pulled it up on Fire Stick Records. And
I think it's like a regular available now. I don't think you need Fire Stick Records.
I mean, you thought I was buying it on demand?
That's fair.
Okay, you thought that I was about to go on Amazon, I was going to pay $19.99 to watch that movie? No, I pulled it up on Fire Stick Records.
Forgot who I was talking to for a minute. That's on me. My bad. Continue on.
Yeah. It was free in 1080p, so I watched it that way in surround sound. It was great. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was a very, very good movie. I mean, I knew the premise of the movie, but just the character development and it was good. And I really, really enjoyed it. I probably will start the Allen Iverson documentary today. That's why Iverson was making the rounds last week. He was on New Heights. He was on a lot of different things. I probably will end up watching the Allen Iverson documentary. That's probably what I'll end up starting today.
I think I might. So I think I'm going to watch that Murdaugh show on Hulu. The Murdaugh murder was very fascinating, like in real life. We already have a TV show about it.
Have you watched The Perfect Neighbor yet? Like I told you to watch?
No, but my wife did. She raved about The Perfect Neighbor.
You didn't even watch it, man. That's terrible.
Have you watched Task yet? I told you to watch Task on HBO Max.
What happened to what Task?
Task. It's a nice 7-episode miniseries. It's about an FBI task force against the mob and up in the hills of West Virginia.
My HBO password expired. I got to re-up. I got to re-up. I got to re-up from the plug.
That's fair.
I got to re-up. Can we actually end the show talking about this? Did you guys see that our dear friend of the show, Denny Matthews, he's getting married. Denny Matthews is getting married for the first time You know how old Denny Matthews is? He's 83. Denny Matthews getting married. I already asked for the registry. You think I'm not getting Denny Matthews a gift? I can't wait to get Denny Matthews a gift. Cannot wait.
Did you get an invite?
No, I didn't get one. Then when I saw how many people got invited, it makes sense. They said they were keeping it small. Only 150 people got invited.
150 does not seem like the definition. As someone who went through this process, 150 is not small.
I'm just saying, just, dating more. You know what I mean? Like Royals front office, family, friends.
So basically, if you got invited to the 10-year gala at Union Station,
yeah,
okay,
it's one of those
that
people.
Makes sense.
Her family, his family. If you're only inviting 150 people, I mean, me and Denny are close. I don't think we're 150 close. No.
150.
150 close. But I'm buying Denny Matthews a gift. Are you going to go in on it with me? You going in on a gift with me for Denny?
I mean, anyone can use a nice new pair of candlesticks, something like that.
No, I'm getting Denny a really good gift. I'm getting Denny a gift card to 1587 Prime. Why don't you take your lady out on me? Take your lady out on the drive.
Then we are not splitting that. That's too expensive.
Yeah, Denny been coming on the show for free for years just off the strength of our relationship. Of course, I'm hooking Denny up. I ain't going to let him do Denny like this. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. We got a lot planned. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4.